for concerts. There's a reason they reopened this facility as LaSalle Speedway and Event Center because they have a lot of diversified events planned.
A couple things I'll point out. You can see off the back stretch there, kind of right in dead center of the screen. That's a brand new area that they've done. They pushed that wall out just a little bit. There's one entrance and exit to the racetrack. It's right there, coming off of turn number 2, coming onto the back straightaway. The bleachers that you see on the back straightaway, they used to be coming off turn number 4 on the front straightaway. They moved them to the back stretch. They put brand new wood on all of those bleachers. And if you look at the top of turn number 4 there, Ben, they have closed that in with concrete, with a concrete jersey barrier. That used to be where drivers entered the racetrack. As I mentioned just a minute ago, that's no longer the case. That entrance right there coming off turn number 2 at the beginning of the back straightaway, that is the only place now that cars will enter and exit the race. You can see just an absolutely full pit area. Grass is green, man. It just, I told someone earlier, LaSalle has always been a nice facility. It's an incredible facility now, man, and I wish that you could have seen the change from how it was to how it looks now, and as you said, a testament to McCoy and Izzo.
And all the haulers in the pit area. I talked to some of the teams there that are having their first race of the year in both divisions, and their comment was, we have to support tracks they're trying to reopen. We did what it takes to be here. Now today, it's about 75 degrees outside, absolutely gorgeous. The sun's been out, the wind's been out, and Tony Izzo Jr. and the gang just went out. They put some more moisture on the surface. They're going to work it throughout the night. He told me there's plenty in there. It just was baking out the racetrack. But you look at this pit area. What a beautiful setting and what a great way to open one for the thumb, if you will, the 5th year FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. And it's the first forever of 3 straight nights for FloRacing Night in America at Illinois Speed Week. Of course, tonight we're here. Tomorrow night we head up to Spoon River, or down to Spoon River Speedway, I should say, over to Lincoln Speedway on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday, Rick Schwally and the gang roll into town. The Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing, the Farmer City 74 on Friday, Saturday, the Falls Spring Shootout. So 5 straight nights of action. And guess what? Next Tuesday we're going to be in Marshalltown, and we're going to see the schedule right now. If Mother Nature continues to play the way that she shows, we're going to have 4 of the 10 rounds of action completed a week from tonight. And of course, Marshalltown Speedway's Jerry Van Sickle in the crowd here tonight, checking out the facility. And again, what you don't see on the LaSalle Speedway, that's where we're at tonight. Tomorrow, Spoon River Speedway, Lincoln, Marshalltown. Then we're going to take almost a month break before we head to Eldora Speedway to lead into the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the rest on there. Fairbury, of course, the lead-in on Wednesday night to the Prairie Dirt Classic Volunteer Speedway. Bulls Gap, Tennessee on September 11th. I cannot wait for our very first visit to Hopstad, Indiana, to Tri-State Speedway. And, of course, we wrap up State Classic at Sonoy Raceway in Sonoy, Georgia. But again, Illinois Speed Week, man, we're here. By the way, let's not sleep on the fact that we have really good UMP dirt car modifieds in the pit area here tonight as well.
No, it's a fantastic field on all fronts. You see Jason Fager back in the pit area, his buddy Brian Shirley. Let's take a look at tonight's race info.
Absolutely. We're going to start with Dirt Draft Hot Laps for everybody in the pit area. That'll be followed by 3 cars at a time for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Ben, we are over 49 late models signed in. That means we're going to have 6 heat races.
That's right, 6 heat races, 8 laps apiece. Top 3 out of each one of those will go to the main event. Then we'll have 2 B mains, 10 laps apiece. Top 3 out of those. 24 cars. We do not start provisionals with this series until the 4th round, which right now should be Marshalltown Speedway next Tuesday. So if you don't race in tonight, tomorrow, or on Thursday at Lincoln, you're going to be watching the main event. There are no provisionals. Again, only your best 8 out of 10 count toward that $75,000 championship. And it's going to all tasks just get into this main event here tonight. And again, 49 cars. Let's take a look now at the track facts for this reopened LaSalle Speedway.
Yeah, it opened originally back in 1947. A quarter mile, maybe a big quarter, kind of depending on who you talk to, who you ask down there. Some folks say it's really close to Fairbury, maybe with slightly longer straightaways. A few other folks say, no, you know what, it's got more sweeping corners. It's a little more round, maybe like a Brownstown bull ring. High Bank Clay Oval, and you hit it earlier, Ben, it's now LaSalle Speedway and Event Center. They got a lot of big things planned here. Grass is growing up in the infield. It's just, it just looks so good.
Well, it does. And their last race here was in June of 2021. And again, we want to give a big shout out to Tony's mom, Carrie Izzo. She had chances to sell parts of this property, do different things. And she said, you know what, I'm going to hold out to see if it's a racetrack again. And lo and behold, her son Tony Izzo Jr., along with Justin McCoy, they teamed up. And this aerial view tells the story. We're about 5.5 minutes out from from the driver's meeting.
Close.
We're about 35 minutes out from Dirt Draft Hot Laps. And again, cannot wait to see cars going around the Speedway. They had a practice a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
They were very pleased with that. And DJ, when you walk up to this racetrack, this grandstand is massive here. One of the bigger grandstands that I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and again, they've done a lot of work to replace a lot of the a lot of the wood on the bleachers here on the front side as well. They've got a small picnic area now off of turn number 4 where what are now the backstretch bleachers used to be. They've actually got some plans down there as well. They'd like to put like a little patio area in there, maybe like a deck, like an observation deck for folks to sit and watch. I talked to Justin McCoy at length a little bit earlier on this evening. A lot of really cool things planned. Man, there is a great look at the drone as well, as it's still not even 6 o'clock local time. A lot of folks still rolling in, but a great look at the giant grandstands here at this gorgeous facility. I'll put you on the spot here a little bit, Ben. You'd never been here before. You and I rode up here together. When you rolled into this place, you've seen pictures, you've watched videos, but kind of what did you think? What did you feel like, and what were your first thoughts when you rolled in?
I felt like it was more of an Ohio or a Pennsylvania facility, a bigger track.
Okay.
It's a big quarter, and you look at it. These straightaways are long and sweeping corners. It's a big quarter, and then the grandstand. There's a lot of fairgrounds grandstands in the state of Illinois. There's not a lot of these.
This is not one of them. Yeah.
This is a towering grandstand. It's impressive, and they did a really good job of refurbishing it. And then I think just my thought, the overall layout of the facility. Devin Moran, he goes, I'm going to say this is the second best facility, only to Fairbury, the state of Illinois. He made that comment to us today. He goes, this is gorgeous. Last time he was here in 2013, he ended up, and there was a pond apparently in turn 2, and he ended up there is what he told us.
Oh.
I think he said it was maybe in the infield, but he said, I was in a pond the last time I was here.
Oh, my. There's the drone flying over cars that are parked on the back straightaway right now. Yeah, we talked to Keith Hammett, his car owner. Keith Lawson. Yeah, gosh, not Keith Hammett. Keith Lawson, not Heath Lawson. Keith Lawson. And we talked to Stevie Norris. Well, Stevie Norris wearing a pair of shorts, by the way, that are 30 years old, he told me.
I think they came with Billy Moyer. Remember that semi he had? He was one of the first guys. I think it came. They actually got it with the semi as a bonus. Cody Overton in the pit area from the World of Outlaw Late Model Series. Congrats to them on their new sponsor with Real American Beer. His brother Brandon Overton. We're going to have the Battle of the Overtons tonight. And you see Kyle Bronson down there. He's kind of stepped back, and the rest of the year they're going to pick and choose, and we're really glad to have him here with Illinois Speedway.
Absolutely. Brian Shirley there, his good friend in the 3S. Jason
What a
Fager.
field.
Absolutely. Jason Fager, you're defending. Now, 2-time and defending Mars Series champion. There's Carson Ferguson, who's currently 10th in the Lucas Oil points. Your most recent World of Outlaws Real American Beer late model winner there, Nick Hoffman in the Tide Touring
What
Racing.
a row of cars.
My goodness. Davenport, Tim McCready, and the list just goes on and on.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. I think last count, 20, maybe 21 states represented here tonight. And again, in the pit area, drivers meeting at the Kelcar Motorsports trailer coming up for the late models and mods here in a few minutes. They're going to have drivers meeting at 6, cars on track at 6:30. I think we'll probably see the water truck 1 or 2 more times tonight as the sun starts to set a little bit. And, man, when you look at the forecast for the rest of the week, DJ, after as bad as the weather was last year, we could not have asked for any better this year.
So you and I were talking about it on the way up. The first year we had this, right, was like 90 degrees every day.
Record heat.
I died 3 times in the Lincoln Speedway
We
press
buried
box.
you twice.
Yeah, I know it. I rose. I rose again. So we got that. The weather looks great for Marshalltown next week as well. I talked to their promoter, Jerry Van Sickle, in the pit area. They've got reserved seats on sale for Marshalltown next Tuesday, and we're going to let you go ahead and check that out. Go get those reserved seats for Marshalltown. We are going to step aside for our second set of commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 2025 season opener for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. of stuff, for lack of better words, right here on FloRacing, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing, USAC, Kubota High Limit, and that is just an incredibly small sample size. On the asphalt side, we got the Cars Tour, we got the Smart Mods, Snowball Derby coming up later on this year. Back on the dirt side, the Mars Late Model Series. We've got the Short Track Super Series, Brett Deyo Series. We've got weekly racing from Marshalltown, from Port Royal, from Silver Dollar, from a ton of other racetracks. All of that and a whole lot more included with one subscription to FloRacing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It starts here tonight. There's been a lot all the way back to the beginning of January. The Wild West Shootout, the Tulsa Shootout, the Chili Bowl, all kinds of great
That was this year?
That was this year, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. As welcome back to Salle Speedway, the grand reopening, first race since June 2021. And I tell you what, just a beautiful facility here. And as we thought, the water truck's making a few laps. Tony Izzo Jr. and the gang out there. Two divisions tonight, DJ. 80 cars on the nose. We just saw the Gundakers pull in. Trevor and Gordy Gundaker. That gets us to 49 super late models for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota and 31 dirt car mods. And looking through the dirt car mod pitter, I think there's only about 26 guys that could win the feature tonight.
Is that it? Is that all? I mean, well, the mods you cannot pick in Dirt Draft, but what you can pick are the super late models. Hey, don't forget a free t-shirt coming out to all new subscribers to Dirt Draft. You saw me, I set a lineup earlier. They have, I tell you the cool thing they've got now, they got the leagues. They've got like private leagues. I'm in the Matt Long Fuel Fund League because Matt apparently doesn't have enough money to buy fuel. You think he'd ask Ty for a little bit of gas money. He can't, so I'm donating money toward that. Matt will inevitably win. That's how he gets up and down the road and supports his racing fund. I'm in a league with some of those guys, but hey, really cool stuff they got. You can do custom leaderboards. They got different buy-in options, and of course the top league finishers, they earn points to the speed shop and a whole lot more. It's dirtdraft.com. I play, and you should too.
I don't think in a league of myself that I would win. I am no good at it, but it's a lot of fun, and Clint Dahl and the gang, check that out. And they've been a sponsor of this series since day one, as we're in year 5, and we want to thank them. And
it's hard to believe. 5 years we've been
doing It's unbelievable. And this year we're going to go for our 5th different champion. I love the welcome back race fans, LaSalle Speedway and Event Center. And it's so cool, DJ, in a day and time where you used to hear about tracks going away.
Yeah.
And to hear a track come back after 4+ years, I'll be honest, I think a lot of people and the Izzo family too, they just didn't know if it would ever happen again. And to pull in here today and to see what they've got and to kick off Illinois Speed Week. Illinois is a special place. You've got all different types of racetracks. We'll head to Spoon River Speedway tomorrow. Definitely probably one of the most high bank, bigger tracks in the state. And then Lincoln Speedway, one of the tighter racetracks that you'll go to. And notable entries, we're going to see them all week. Tomorrow, Jeep Van Wormer's going to join us, not here tonight, but there's a lot of great ones here tonight. And how about Mr. 853, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, leading that list, Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas, in the pits of the 21, one of the winningest drivers in the history of LaSalle Speedway when it comes to special events.
Absolutely. Could it be 854 here tonight for Mr. Smooth? Some of the other notable entries there. Max Blair, of course, currently 9th in the World of Outlaws point standings, former Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year, 4-time ULMS champ. Gordy Gundaker just pulled in late, as we mentioned. And how about the Rocket One of Brandon Shepard, a 2-time winner already this season?
Yeah, 5-time defending World of Outlaws champion. Former champion of FloRacing Night in America, Mike Marlar, former World of Outlaws champion. Tyler Erb, last year's Dirt Car Summer Nationals champion, fresh off a $25,000 win with the Outlaws back on Friday night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Ricky Thornton Jr., our defending champion of this series and defending Lucas Oil champion. Bobby Pierce, he picked up a World of Outlaws title and this title back in 2023.
He sure did, and they're the 2 winningest drivers in the country right now. 10 wins this season for Thornton, 11 wins for Pierce. Pierce stopped me back in the pit area. I was texting him last night getting some information, and I said, 11 wins, right? He said, yes, sir, and he stopped me in the pit area. He said, I really want to make it 12 here tonight. He loves this place. He is one of those guys from the land of Lincoln to obviously keep your eye on, and there on the left side of your screen, Ben, 2 other drivers from right here in Illinois to keep your eyes on, Shannon Babb, and then now the 2-time and defending Mars Series champion, the high-side hustler, Jason Fager.
And he's had back-to-back fantastic years, has Fager, and last year ran the series for the first time. Plans to run it again this year. Man, he loves it with the first 4 races in his backyard as the water truck has made its way out, and you're starting to hear engine heat in the pit area, which tells me the driver's meeting is over. And we are not too far away from Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We're also not too far from the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing returning to the racetrack.
Absolutely. It's part of Illinois Speed Week, and it gets back underway this Friday and Saturday, as we talked about. The Farmer City 74 at the Land Speaker promoted Farmer City Raceway in Farmer City, Illinois on Friday. And, of course, the Fall Spring Shootout on Saturday. Devin Moran, the defending winner of that race. All 5 races, again, here tonight at LaSalle, tomorrow, Spoon River, Lincoln on Thursday, Farmer City Friday, Fairbury Saturday. They make up Illinois Speed Week. They're all live right here on FloRacing. And next weekend, Ben, you get another track on your all-time track list as you will make your first ever appearance to the Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska.
First time for the late models. I used to go with the American Sprint Car Series, but it's been a while. I used to go with Tony Bruce Jr. with ASCS out there. But 3 days, last year you were there. That was your first time there.
Yeah.
And you saw second night, you saw one night of amazing racing. You get 3 this year.
I can't wait. It's truly one of my favorite racetracks in the country. This stretch for us is amazing, right? These races this week, Marshalltown on Tuesday. You and I might sneak into Stuart, Iowa for a Dirt Crown Stock Car Show on Wednesday. Eagle, Wheatland after that you saw there on the screen. And then, of course, the Roger Sellers promoted Smoky Mountain Speedway in Tennessee. All of that and more. That's the upcoming schedule for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, who we partner with this week for Illinois Speed Week.
So much great racing. Mother Nature's finally a race fan, a reopened racetrack, a 5th season for a mini-series. And again, we go all over the place, but we're not trying to compete with the national tours. We're trying to supplement them, and that's why I'm really proud. We have top-tier talent from both the World of Outlaw Late Model Series and the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And then we have some privateers. It makes for a really fun tour, and we like to give these guys a chance to make some money along the way. We love to give fans in the local markets a chance to come out. And, hey, if you're at home, you get some racing midweek.
Yeah, absolutely. And we work with the National Touring Series as well. You know,
100%.
we talk to Steve Francis, we talk to Rick Schwally, we talk to these National Touring drivers and try to find the best fits. Is it perfect? No, it's never perfect, and it's never going to be. And my goodness, look at the line to get into the grand reopening here at LaSalle. Holy smokes.
You know what? I mean, let's get him in here. I never want to make people wait to give us some money, but
that guy
is amazing.
there is with someone he shouldn't be with.
Yeah, he's hiding his face. Look at that line, and I tell you what, welcome back to Dirt Track Racing, LaSalle Speedway, and race fans, we salute you. The race fans in the pit area, the fans in the parking lot right now, we're going to thank some great marketing partners. We're not too far away from Dirt Draft Hot Laps. This is the 2025 Lid Lifter for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. This is the grand opening for LaSalle Speedway. We'll be right back on FloRacing.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel.
Season 2 is here. The Dirt Track series that shook the world is back. Bigger, faster, and ready to make history. It all begins under the bright lights of Sin City. Catch up with Dirt Season 2 on Flow March 12th. Join Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney, and the biggest names in dirt racing as they battle for glory and take fans along for the wildest ride of the year. From the first green flag to the epic finale, High Limit is more than racing, it's a movement.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
For 45 years of experience, Buzzy Racing has mastered the art of drivetrain specialties, spanning from dirt to asphalt tracks. You're not just a customer, but a valued member of our family, embraced by the tradition and passion embedded in every Buzzy build. We cover everything from rebuilding and selling drivetrain components, offering custom Buzzy parts, steering box services, and ensuring top-notch maintenance and support for braking systems. We are committed to excellence in helping racers maintain a competitive edge on the track. Get it Buzzy built.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and the entire country since 1978. Our staff consists of fellow racers and crew members who combine for over 100 years of experience in the racing industry. Poske's is also the home to Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley and Octane Race Products. We have what you need when you need it and ship nationwide daily. Visit us in Parkersburg, West Virginia or online at Poske.com. Kubota High Limit, every race all season long right here on FloRacing as they just wrapped up the Stockyard Stampede at Texas Motor Speedway. Ben, they're actually in action tomorrow night at the 81 Speedway. They're in Kansas. They will head up just outside Kansas City, then to the Lakeside Speedway on Friday, May the 9th. And then, of course, they're at Tri-City Speedway on May the 10th. Kubota High Limit, highlimitracing.com for all the latest news, scheduling information, and more. You can also check them out on the My Race Pass app.
DJ, do you think we could get a line update on what our line in the parking lot's looking like? It was very impressive before that break. And I tell you what, they're steady coming in here.
Minus 1,000.
Minus 1,000.
Oh, wait. Oh, you meant like the actual link?
No,
I thought you meant like a line, like the odds, you know. Okay.
Spectator count. Look at Tiffany Swisher and the gang. They are going to show us what it's like getting in here, and wow. That is spectacular on a Tuesday night at a racetrack that hasn't raced in almost 4 years. People in the land of Lincoln are special. They love their racetracks. And you know what? Who knows? Somebody might be watching at home thinking about reopening a racetrack in their neck of the woods. And it shows if you put the work in, there's just a chance that it might work out. It doesn't always. We're not going to act like it does. But you know what? You put the work in. And now.
We both got racetracks that could be reopened close to us. You know who would be really good at reopening a racetrack is the guy that is down in the infield joining us. No doubt about it. He's going to be our pit reporter all week this week. He's the voice of Fairbury Speedway and the voice of the Mars Late Model Championship. How about it, Mike Norris? Good to have you here.
Hey, good to be along with you two up there. It's going to be a great week. Perfect weather. Tony and Justin down here putting, the finishing touches on LaSalle Speedway. But what a great line out there. What a great group of fans. Are you guys glad to be back at LaSalle Speedway or what? This is awesome out here. I tell you what, you get the feeling, guys, of a special event. This is here. Everything Tony's been through the last several years. Do we reopen it? Do we not? You know, he talked about his mom earlier. You guys touched on it. She could have sold the place. She decided not to, but here we are. You got all those guys back in the pit area and a ton of great field. Nick Hoffman touched on it. You know, could be a World 100-like field from the veterans to the young guns to everybody. This tonight has a great feel. We got a great crowd, and it's just going to be an amazing night. I'm glad I get to be a part of it.
We're glad to have you here, Mike. Hey, let me ask you, you've been to LaSalle before this. We talked, correct?
Yes.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Ben Shelton earlier then. He had not been here. You have. What were your first impressions whenever you rolled in here today and saw all the improvements that Justin McCoy and Tony Izzo and team have made?
Absolutely eye-popping. When you came in, just the pristine, the colors, they repainted the wall, the green grass, everything is mowed, everything is touched up. The attention to detail. Congratulations to Tony and Justin. They have just put the finishing touches on this. I'm telling you guys, make sure and be here if you can't next time they have a race. But if you're here tonight, I think we're in for an incredible show. Hats off to Justin and Tony Izzo. If anybody deserves this more for a great night, it's that guy driving that water truck around right now. Tony Izzo's put his heart and his soul and his family. One thing we want to touch on, his family got inducted into the Hall of Fame a year ago. Here he is. LaSalle Speedway and Event Center is back open. God bless him. And, man, I can't wait till cars hit this track.
Well, thanks a lot. We're glad to have you with us here, not just tonight, but the entire week here for Illinois Speed Week. Of course, you will be in the booth with James Essex on Saturday at your home track at Fairbury, while Ben and I pit report that event. As, well, they're just getting this racetrack up just a little bit to the top. And speak of the devil, there is Matt Curl and Jonathan Clayton right down there on your screen.
Well, you see him down there getting ready. I'm really proud of the staff we've got. We talk about the all-star staff. We've got Ray Cook, amazing job that he does, tech director, and Ray's been around. He said last time he was here, he may have gotten in trouble. He didn't want to talk to us about the last time he was racing here. Kelly Carlton, our race director, just made his way up to the tower. Brad Hockaday does our timing and scoring. Just everybody. Matt Curl's here with us. Everybody works so hard with the staff, and it's just an honor to be a part of them. It's an honor to have year 5. It seems like just yesterday we were doing the first ever event at Tyler County Speedway in your neck of the woods. But we talked about Matt Curl, of course, co-owner of Fairbury Speedway, but owner-operator of the Mars Series. And, man, they have been on the fast ride. You see Matt Curl right there on cue with Jonathan Clayton, his series director, and they got a lot of big things coming up. Mother Nature has not been a fan of the Mars Late Model Championship powered by FK Rod Ends, but it's going to change for them. I got faith.
Absolutely. As you see the upcoming schedule there on the left side of your screen. I will say the races they've got in have been good. I got the opportunity to go to their event at Cedar County in Tipton, Iowa. An outstanding show there that saw Brandon Shepard hold off Bobby Piercy get the win. I got the opportunity to go to the Saturday portion of the Slocum 50 there at the Brad Stevens and Jesse Minot promoted 34 Raceway in West Burlington, Iowa. Mars Late Model Championship powered by FK Rod Ends. Quincy. They got a wall around Quincy all the way now. That'll be May 16th. Highland on May 17th. Shout out to Chance and the gang there. Of course, the Gundaker promoted Tri-City Raceway or Tri-City Speedway on Friday, May 23rd. Fairbury for the Triple Down Shootout on Saturday, May 24th. And the Gary Cook Jr. Memorial at Spoon River on May 25th. The Mars Late Model Championship powered by FK Rod Ends. Get out and support them whenever you can when they're going to be in your neck of the woods. And if you can't make it, we have every lap of every race live right here on FloRacing. It's a Chamber of Commerce day today, as you would say.
Yeah, the winds died down a little bit earlier today, man. We had some 10 to 15 mile an hour gusts. You throw the sun in there, and it's a little bit warmer. They had said at one point we would probably get in the low, close to mid 70s. It's creeped upper 70s. A little bit of extra H2O going down on the surface. And Brandon Overton earlier today, we walked up and he goes, I love me a track with some banking in it. And he said, I hope they go out there and put a lot of water on it, which is interesting because Overton's kind of been known not to the past few years. He kind of likes the dead slick a little bit in that, but he said, I hope they get it nice and moist. There's a lot of guys that are here for the first time. I mean, that is the thing. There's a lot of newcomers, but there's also a lot of guys. We were in the pit area. David Strimmy was telling us he's going to be in the mods tonight. He said the last time I was here, Shin and Bab would just punish the high side of this racetrack. That's what I remember about coming to LaSalle Speedway.
Well, and the other thing with LaSalle, too, there are a lot of guys that yes, the track has not raced in about 4 years, but there's a lot of guys that were not even here prior to that. We were talking to Devin Moran in the pit area earlier, and he said he raced here back in like 2014. He thought was the last time he was here.
20, yes, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't run Lucas back when Lucas was here those last couple years. He was running with the Outlaws then. So, of course, Donnie made a couple trips here as well. But the number of drivers that just simply don't have a lot of track time here, I think, is one thing that's going to make tonight's race really, really interesting.
Well, we are going to step aside. Thanks some sponsors. We're about 5 minutes out from Dirt Draft Hot Lap. They're out working the racetrack. We're going to be right back here at LaSalle Speedway and Event Center tonight. FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand reopening of LaSalle Speedway in LaSalle, Illinois. Night number 1 of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Who will be standing there in victory lane at the end of the night tonight? Well, maybe it'll be that guy. That is the 4-time UMP Dirt Car National Champ out of Benton, Illinois. It's Rodney Melvin in the Clements-powered Longhorn, the Thomason Express Rick Towing Ace Hardware sponsor 27. He will be followed on the track by one of those tough drivers from right here in the land of Lincoln. It's the 18 of Shannon Babb, the Moweaqua Missile, and the Dynagrow C. Donnelly Trucking, Petroff Towing, sponsored number 18.
How about the Diamond One out of Waukesha, Wisconsin? Welcome to FloRacing Night in America. Let's see if I butcher this one. Turk Letizia.
You got it.
And the Greater Milwaukee Auto Auction Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn by Sorensen. Diamond One behind him out of Milano, Oregon, a frequent flyer now on the Mars Tour. That will be Mr. Justin Duty. Justin Duty in the Don Frank Floors cart number 15D. Man, it's quite great to have him here with us. And behind him in car number 25, that is going to be Jason Fager. Jason Fager ran with the whole tour last year. He's back, the 2-time defending Mars champion. Couple of wins on the year. They came last weekend at Farmer City and Fairbury. The Titan Industries SC Online sells Clements powered Longhorn for the high side hustler, Jason Fager. Behind him in car 49, Jonathan Davenport, the inaugural FloRacing Night in America champion out of Blairsville, Georgia. 4 wins on the year, currently 3rd in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings. A 3-time series champion with the Lucas Oil Series. The Nutrient Ag Solutions Clements powered Longhorn for Jonathan Davenport.
There's the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Garnto Southern number 76 for Brandon Overton, the Riggs Motorsports Longhorn factory car for the 33-year-old out of Evans, Georgia, a 3-time winner this season. Behind him is the driver out of Marshalltown, Iowa, and that Todd Cooney Racing number 19R. It's the Reaper, Ryan Gustin, and the Wells & Sons Motorsports Todd Cooney Racing Carl Auto Group sponsored 19R, currently 3rd in the World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series point standings. And those are the drivers on the track for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. You have, one more. Did you get Justin Duty?
I did get Justin Duty.
You got Justin Duty.
Hey, you want a fun fact about Ryan Gustin?
He's my second favorite Gustin.
Well, there's that. Maybe 3rd, 4th. I don't know. You discriminate against the Gustins sometimes. No, he is obviously back on the World of Outlaws Tour. As you said, 3rd in the standings for the first time ever. He's going to chase the FloRacing Night in America title this year as he's on tour. We got about a dozen guys right now setting their sights on the tour. Obviously, some along the way will probably go by the wayside, but good to have Ryan Gustin. 2 wins on the year, both the World of Outlaws. They came at Volusia Speedway Park and Swainsboro Raceway in the 19R, the Todd Cooney Racing entry. And I tell you what, the 2-time USMTS champion, the 49, Jonathan Davenport, and JD's had a solid season so far. 4 wins on the year, and he goes after his 4th Lucas Oil Series title.
Yeah, both of those came at Speed Weeks, right? 2 wins at Ocala, 2 wins at Volusia. There's a good look at Shannon Babb in the 18. That was the driver I didn't have on my roster.
Gotcha.
Babb. Yeah.
How dare you forget Shannon Babb?
How do you forget Shannon
in
Babb?
Illinois,
No
nonetheless.
Kidding. 4-time Summer Nationals champ, former Dirt Track World Champion there on your screen. 18. Good to see Dirk Letizia with us out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. You and I talked earlier. We said we might have a few guys like that sneaking. I thought maybe you'd see our buddy Mike Mataragas here. Maybe a Justin Reed would sneak in. But Dirk Letizia roll into town in that Pro Power Longhorn Diamond Jack Sports Bar. Sponsor number 1.
Dirt Draft Hot Laps are underway. If you haven't got your Dirt Draft lineups in, you're going to want to do that sooner than later. And right now, they're going to get this racetrack tuned up as LaSalle Speedway comes back to life here on a Tuesday night.
So they've had a practice day.
Right, talking about practice?
Yeah, we're talking practice. And this is, tonight will be the first time for competitive racing here at LaSalle in 4 years. Shannon Babb, you see there on the left side of the screen, currently quickest in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and he gets trumped by Brandon Overton right there. Again, you've got until the start of heat race number 1 to set those Dirt Draft lineups. If you're a new subscriber, you get a free t-shirt if you play. I think I have every Dirt Draft t-shirt that they've ever made now, because I commented one time on air that I didn't have any, and I got a 55-gallon drum full of. Look at me now.
Look at you now.
And look at that guy now.
Well, JD fastest, and when that set came to an end, we also welcomed a new marketing partner to the series, the first Midwest Sheet Metal Yellow Flag For FloRacing Night in America Flies, we want to welcome Chris Davis and Midwest Sheet Metal to the tour this year. Brand new marketing partner.
Yeah.
And thank you, Chris Davis. And Jonathan Davenport, he sponsors that 49 for JD. He sponsors a lot of race cars, and we'll see which one will go to FloRacing Victory Lane later tonight. Next set of cars make their way to the Speedway and led out by the 3S of the Squirrel, Brian Shirley, four-time Dirt Car Summer Nationals champion, the Durham-powered Longhorn, Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thomas and Express Entry. If you can have bad luck this year, Brian Shirley's experienced it. He's going to look to shake it off here tonight. Behind him, a driver with a lot of luck on Saturday night with the World of Outlaws to the tune of $30,000. Nick Hoffman was your winner at Mississippi Thunder Speedway back on Saturday. The Tide NOS Energy, Holdren Incorporated Construction Services, Petrov Towing, Clements Powered Longhorn for Nick Hoffman, a two-time winner this year.
He'll be followed by the Winter Freeze champ a little bit earlier on this season out of Thompson, Georgia. That's going to be Cody Overton behind the wheel of the Dave Stein Molly Enterprises TriStar Engines and Transmissions. Big Dog Stump and Tree sponsored number 2, currently 7th in the World of Outlaws point standings. And there is the driver out of Batesville, Arkansas, Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer. 853 career wins for the 6-time World 100 champ in that Cornet-powered Longhorn, the Keith Lawson Trucking, the Sea Valley Transportation, Carl Chevrolet West Logging, Henderson Motorsports sponsored number 21 for Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer.
The 111 out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, Max Blair, the Clements Powered Longhorn, Centerline Motorsports, Creek Pizza and Pub, Coleman Farms Racing, and Upstate Auto Group entry. 4-time ULMS champion, 9th in the World of Outlaw standings. Behind him, 7th road in Marcells, Illinois, the Pierce Platinum Pro Power Racing Engine, Pitbull Motorsport Design entry for Mike Provenzano.
One other driver on the track in this session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and he's there on your screen out of Peoria, Illinois. It's the A-Dog. In that Longhorn with a Pro Power Racing engine under the hood, the Car Movie Services, A&A, AC and Heating, Titan Industries, Dawson Fabrication, Mr. Tillett Wrecker Service, Red Tech Enterprises, sponsor 25 for the A-Dog, Alan Weiser. He swept the Liberty weekend of the B-Mods at Spoon River last year for his only 3 wins on the season.
Dirt Draft Hot Laps continue here tonight. Fastest in this set so far, Alan Weiser, 4th fastest overall. And now Brian Shirley, a squirrel to the top of the leaderboard, a 13.235 here at Dirt Draft Hot Laps as the checkered flag waves. We'll see if anybody get around Shirley as the squirrel, Landa Lincoln, you heard it here first. Landa Lincoln, frequent flyer all around the country. Top of the leaderboard, Cody Overton, 2nd fastest. So Brian Shirley from Chatham, Illinois, trying to reopen LaSalle Speedway with a bang here. Fast so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
Tell you what, he looked pretty good at Mississippi Thunder there the other night as well. I was watching back home, and you mentioned he has had a rough start to the year. Of course, had that well-documented fire at Needmore, the Hunt the Front race. I was there earlier this season, and it has been a year that he would like to turn around. He got a win at Springfield earlier this year and wants to turn it around tonight. And Ben, the next group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps are going to be led out by his good friend, KB40.
That's right, a driver looking to turn things around a bit this year. The Atomic Music Group, Race Car Engineering, LTX Home Builders, Clements Powered Longhorn for Kyle Bronson, the killer out of Brandon, Florida. And behind him in car 32, coming to us out of Oxford, Iowa, the C&J Trucking, Hoker Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking, Superior Cleaning Services, Durham Powered Longhorn for Chris Simpson in car 32.
In the 157 out of Winfield, Tennessee, it's going to be the 2018 World of Outlaws champ, the Winfield Warrior Mike Marlar, in that Skyline Motorsports Quick Supply Company, Burning Rock Products, Can-Am Auto Salvage, sponsored number 157 for the 46-year-old out of Winfield, Tennessee, and he'll be followed out by the 31-year-old out of Benton, Kentucky. The 96 is Tanner English, and the Coltman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett, SRI Performance Bilstein Shock sponsored number 96.
Your defending FloRacing Night in America champion, defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion out of Martinsville, Indiana, Ricky Jr., the Kohler Motorsports Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Hoker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Clements Powered Longhorn. He's got the Knights Company sponsorship on the nose of that race car. 10 wins on the year, and he leads the Lucas Oil standings. And behind him, the driver second in the Lucas Oil standings out of Dresden, Ohio. 5 wins on the year. The Big River Steel, Bill Stein, Lazy Days RV, Millwood Plumbing, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Devin Moran. Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio in the 99.
The 2 drivers behind them, I don't know that anybody had on their bingo card to be here tonight. First, that black number 10 on your screen out of Bakersfield, California, Rob Sanders. We saw him at the Wild West Shootout earlier this season in the West Coast Boring, Mystique Tanning and Salon, HSR Equipment Longhorn Chassis. Sanders. And the 51 out of Coldwater, Mississippi, it's Dean Carpenter. Jeff Burns powered Longhorn. Tennyson Brothers Sheet Metal Carpenter Construction Performance Bodies all on the side of Dean Carpenter's 51.
Final two cars in this set. Ryan Unziker in the RJR Transportation Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn out of El Paso, Illinois. One win on the year, came at 4-year Speedway with Mars. And the 31 of Tyler Millwood, another surprise entry out of Kingston, Georgia. The competition racing equipment, Breeze Mobile Service Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for the 2017 Ultimate Series champion and Rookie of the Year, Tyler Millwood, as they're getting wound up around Salle Speedway. And I tell you what, DJ, they've done a great job with this racetrack so far tonight as Dirt Draft Hot Laps continue.
Tell you what, it is really good to be back on the air with you, brother.
It's been a minute.
Yes,
it's been a minute. I went to Australia since the last time I saw you. It's been a while. It is so good to be back, and it's so good to be in the land of Link.
Was that this year?
That was 87 months ago.
Ricky Thornton Jr., the fastest driver in that set of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. He is second quick overall right now, 1:3.069. You know what it means if you get a really good lap time in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Ben?
You have confidence for Sunoco Race Fuels qualified. That's all that means.
That's exactly
all that means.
right. The next driver looking to lay down a good lap in Dirt Draft Hot Laps is going to be the driver out of Lakeshore, Minnesota in the 60, currently third in the Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year points chase. That is Dan Ebert, fifth in last year's USMTS points standings. You just saw him in that Durham-powered rocket chassis, the Minnesota Truck Headquarters sponsored 60. There's the 58, currently fourth in the Lucas point standings. Out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, that's going to be the 35-year-old Garrett Alberson, a three-time winner this year in that Ken and Beth Roberts Racing Romer Machine and Welding Low Voltage Solutions Built Sports Shop sponsored Longhorn chassis.
In the number 9, right behind him, fifth in the World of Outlaws standings out of Watertown, New York, it's T-Mac Timmy McCready. And the 2006 World of Outlaws champion, two-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, the Access Storage, Dave Warren Power Sports, Corey Rubber Corporation, Clements Powered XR1 Rocket Chassis, had a good run last week in Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And in car 32, sitting over in turn number 1 out of Oakwood, Illinois, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. Bobby Pierce piling up a good year so far. 10 wins on the year. The Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, car 32 for Bobby Pierce.
Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr. is the next driver on the racetrack, and he's on your screen. The 2022 World of Outlaws champion, that Vomac Truck Sales McBride Mac-sponsored rocket chassis. And there is the 81 of Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee, in the Riggs Fiber Dude Wipes Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Coltman Farms, University of Northwestern Ohio, sponsored number 81.
The 99 Junior, Frank Heckenus Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois. The Vic Hill Power to Longhorn, Sword Squares USA, NDU Pole at 99 Junior. And the 09 coming to us all the way from Sun River, Montana. That is Michael Leach, the Cornet Lightning Power to Longhorn, Dust Pods, Bill Stein, Lowenbro Motorsports, and Willow Ranch Wagyu, all sponsors on the Hellraiser Jack. Leach. We continue with Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
Yeah, Brian Shirley, the only driver right now. You start on the left side of your screen in that 12-second bracket. And just as I say that, McCready, Pierce, both go a little bit lower. Good lap for McCready, who had a good beat the Outlaws the other night. And Bobby Pierce, their series points leader, and actually currently the Mars points leader as well, a 12.582. Maybe you want to put him on your Dirt Draft fantasy team. I will give you a little hint of advice. He is the most expensive driver on Dirt Draft, and he's trying to back that up, rightfully so, with a quick lap here in Hot Laps with a 1:2.582 for the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce.
An 11-time winner, as you said, this year. And, man, I tell you what, he had a big year last year, and he's hitting the ground running in 2025. As Bobby Pierce, Tim McCready, a lot of speed out of that Briggs Motorsports number 9M. And he's another driver I think you very well could see back on tour this year with FloRacing Night in America.
Speaking of Briggs Motorsports, real quick, we want to send our condolences out to Chubb Frank and his family on the passing of Chubb's wife a little bit earlier on.
Mary was a special lady, I tell you what.
No doubt. Well, she had to be to put up with Chubb, right? But thinking about Chubb and his entire family here as we roll through Illinois week. Next drivers on the racetrack, you just saw the 1T of Turbo, Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas. There's the driver out of New Berlin, Illinois. That is Brandon Shepard on the season, the 5-time World of Outlaws champ Brandon Shepard in that Valvoline Swaber Cat Francis Petrov Towing Durham Power Rocket 1.
Welcome to the mini-series for the first time. Mike Lofgren out of West Chicago, Illinois, the Hamilton Machine Rocket Chassis, Knopfsinger's Auto Repair, Best Engines, and Salvo Carpet sponsors on that entry. And behind the 55, the number 21B of Rich Bell out of Sheffield, Illinois, and the Rhine-powered XR1 Rocket Chassis, won 1 year ago for the Bell's Transmission, Red's Bar and Grill, and Tricks Utility Services, 21B.
Who else we got? We got the 6. That is Clay Harrison, a Longhorn. Now the Durham-powered Longhorn for the Jupiter, Florida driver. The Wilkerson Farms Impact Electrical Services, Done Right Construction, National Fragile X Foundation sponsored entry of Clay Harris. Behind him in the 89 is going to be OB Mike Spatola, the 3-time Fairbury Speedway track champ out of Manhattan, Illinois, and the Pro Power Rocket B&D Chemical Lake Norman Mechanical Country Chevrolet sponsored number 89.
And the final car in this set, Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California. About 2 Bakersfield, California drivers at LaSalle, Illinois tonight. And ASD Motorsports, ASIO, Jarrett Rifles, BK Racing and Grading, Clements Power Longhorn for Ethan Dotson. 1 win on the year, and we're riding along with Turbo through turns 1 and 2.
What could possibly go wrong? The Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, Bulk Material Lift, First Class Septic, sponsor number 1 of Tyler Erb. Look at that, taking you around LaSalle Speedway, and you are looking at exactly what he sees right there. How about Brandy? He's 4th quick, by the way, is Turbo. Opie 2nd quick, and Brandon Shepard now to the top of the leaderboard with a lap of 1:2.468.
Welcome home, Sheppy. Sheppy called me this morning. You were sitting there about 10 o'clock. He said, can we get in the pit yet? He said, Mark, talking about Mark Richards, he's in fire drill mode. He's ready to race tonight. The 93 car leads the next set of cars out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. The Longhorn Chassis by Wesley Page. Clements powered, Paylor Motorsports, Hoopaw Grading Company, Franklin Enterprises entry for Carson Ferguson in the 93, 2-time Spring Nationals champion with Ray Cook Series. And behind him, that should be, I believe, Gordy Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri. The Clements powered.
Trevor.
Is that Trevor?
Yes,
in
that is
one?
Trevor, yeah.
They trip me up every time.
Every
time.
time.
There we go. The Woody Bogger Trucking, JT Auto Sales, Ted Brown Paint and Body, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn for Trevor Gundaker in the 11. We got a handful of 11s here tonight.
Yes, we do. Behind them will be one of a couple 15s here this evening out of Shreveport, Louisiana. That is going to be Clay Stuckey in that Clements-powered Black Diamond race car. Already a pair of wins this season for the driver of the Lucas Oil Laser Tech Fiber Cutting, Advanced Powder Coating, number 15. That's Clay Stuckey. He will be followed by the driver of the 17A out of Lewiston, Missouri. That is Austin Howes in the Austin Howes Storm and Debris HR sponsored number 17A. That's Austin Howes.
In the 75, that is Mike McKinney in the Adam Family Racing Mobilization Funding, Justin L. Langdon Electrical Contractors entry, the Cornet powered Longhorn. 2 wins on the year, but both come in the modified for Mike McKinney, making the transition over to late models for a lot of events throughout the remainder of the year. And the 18 behind him out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, 1 win on the year for that driver. The Clements Racing Engine, Longhorn by Wells, Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, MGL Auto Sales entry for Dalton Wilson, 7th in the Lucas Oil standings.
How about this guy right here on your screen?
Pretty
this
good.
is his 44th race of the year already for Drake Troutman, who currently leads the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year standings out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. He's the defending Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year in that G.R. Smith-owned car. And there's Gordy Gundaker. Gordy, a late arrival, and he's got trouble on his number 11. One other driver
His
on
brother
the
does
track.
too.
Yeah, trouble for Trevor as well. One other driver on the track on your screen out of Maple Park, Illinois. That's going to be Dale Markham in that Zeus chassis with a Pro Power Racing engine under the hood, the Horizon Carpentry, Weaver Construction, the Pumpkin Wagon. Sponsor number 3 for the former limited late model track champion here, Dale Markham.
Well, it's a bad break for both Gundakers. They sit in the infield Dirt Draft Hot Laps where they ever saw a green flag. Meanwhile, checkered flag falls on this set. And Mike North's going to get an update down here. And let's see who might be fastest in this set. Looks like Drake Troutman might be a strong contender for the fastest. And racetrack slowing down just a little bit. Dalton Wilson, 10th fastest. Now Mike McKinney, 9th. And how about Clay Stuckey? Oh, my.
Yeah, Clay Stuckey. 4th quick with a 1:2.616.
They have put a lot of miles on that hauler this year. They've been in New Mexico, Arizona. They were in Fountain City, Wisconsin last weekend. And I tell you what, Clay, a very bright rising star. You see him on your screen.
Yeah, got a win at Central Arizona earlier this year. We saw him at the Wild West Shootout. He went up to Central Arizona, got a win there at Casa Grande, and then went over and got a win at Springfield there at the end of February.
Those 2 tracks about 2 hours apart, plus about another 32 hours.
Yes, exactly. And is that that it for us for Dirt Draft Hot Laps? I believe
It does seem like it. The
is.
Gundakers did not pick up. We'll see if we get an update. Mike Norris, what have you got?
I got a good look at Gordy Gundaker. He just looked over. He said, everything's all right. Give me the thumbs up. So that's the report.
Well, there you go.
Gordy's like, everything's okay.
It's all right. It's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's about time now for Dirt Car Modified Hot Laps. Star-studded field in the Dirt Car Modifieds. We're going to welcome Tyson Graves to tonight's broadcast. He's going to bring you all the modified action. Take it away.
Thanks, DJ and Ben. Great to be back here at the LaSalle Speedway. Remember back in 2021, the last two times we seen racing here at the LaSalle Speedway, and maybe thought we wouldn't see it again, but an awesome field of cars here tonight, including 32 of your Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. And your first group ready to make out onto the racing surface. And our first car will be the 25 out of Sterling, Ontario. This will be Greg Bellier. Greg Bellier in the 25 car. Behind him in the number 45H out of Success, Mississippi. And he's had a lot of success, including several wins here in the land of Lincoln already this spring. That'll be Chase Holland in that 45 car. And right behind him in the number 99M, that'll be out of Bettendorf, Iowa. That'll be Charlie Moore. Charlie Moore in the courtesy Ford sponsored machine. And right behind him in the number 5, that'll be Stephen Brooks in the Great Lakes Lifting Solutions sponsored machine. And right behind him, a guy that's had a lot of success, a couple wins on the Mars Tour this year already out of Pontiac, Illinois. That will be the Royal Chassis there with the Madman Mikey Ledford behind the wheel tonight. And looks like our hot lap session here just about to go green. There's a good look at the number 75M out of Ohio, Illinois. That is Shane Meekum. Shane Meekum in the 75M. And we got a spinner. That'll be the 75M, Shane Meekum. Bringing out the yellow flag here during first session of hot laps for your UMP Dirt Car Modifieds. So far, Michael Ledford, 14.437, quickest here so far in session 1. And we'll turn him loose for a couple more laps here. There you go. Got a good look of the 17 in. That's Dylan Nussbaum, driver out of Warsaw, Indiana. There's your Bettendorf, Iowa diver, Charlie Moore. Ledford still on top. Moore now second quick. Good lap there, 14.565. And checkered flag is out. As you see the driver there from Sterling, Ontario, Greg Bellier. There's a look at your fastest so far here in hot laps. Michael Ledford in that Royal race car, 14.437 to paces here early on in our first group. First night of special events here at the LaSalle Speedway and Event Center. Later on this month, the Mars Racing Series will be in town for a 2-day show, the Illinois Valley Showdown, as our second group starts to make their way out onto the racing surface. And that looks like the 11N. That'll be George Nicholas. George Nicholas joining us. Right behind him, there's the driver out of Kewanee, Illinois, in the number 77 Cheap Cars sponsored machine. That'll be Ray Bollinger. And the number 73 joining us out of West Chicago, Illinois. That'll be Mark Rhodes. Mark Rhodes likes to come down from the Chicago area and run these Central Illinois bull rings. There's a look at the 110 car. Just down the road here in Tonica, Illinois, that's Landon Miller. Sponsored by Midstate Carthage. He'll start the roll here. Behind him is a two-time winner this year out of Mineral Wells, West Virginia. That's Bobby Bagley. Bobby Bagley in the number 5 machine as he rolls over into turn number 1. And a couple cars down the front straightaway here. One of them, the 777, the lethal chassis. That'll be Trevor Neville, driver out of Mackinac, Indiana. And there's the 1 car. Out of Burr Ridge, Illinois, that's Dave Lilja in the 1 car. And there's the promoter over the Kankakee County Speedway in the 01. That's Bill Nippingberg Jr. Bobby Bagley so far quickest with a lap of 14.113. There's a good look at Gene Nicholas, the driver out of Arkansas, making the trek up here to LaSalle Speedway. And Bobby Bagley will be quickest in that hot lap session and quickest overall now, 14.113.
Problem, Tyson, Bobby Bagley's into the turn 4 wall here at the top of turn 4. We're going to assess some of the damage here as he brings her down, but he's fast, but so fast to get into the turn 4 wall.
All right, thanks for that report down there, Mike. We'll see if Bobby can get that thing fixed up here for qualifying, which will be coming up here shortly. Trevor Neville also fast. He's 3rd quickest overall now, 14.181. And Ray Bollinger, 4th fastest, 14.385. And the Madman Michael Ledford now, 5th quick, 14.437 here early on in our modified hot laps. Big shout out to Low Voltage Solutions, a big sponsor this year here at the LaSalle Speedway, and revitalized the sound system and stuff here. It sounds great here at the track, and big thanks out to them. Also IMC, Action Truck Parts, and Martin Equipment, all big sponsors here at the LaSalle Speedway and Event Center. And those watching at home on Flow, you can see the Bagley machine getting put on the hook. Hopefully nothing too major.
Well, Tyson, real quick, he got into the turn 4 wall. Looks like he's broken some parts on the front end of this 5 machine, but the good news is he's got a little bit of time. Got a lot of cars here yet to qualify, so
5 car.
Plenty of time to get her fixed up.
All right, next set of cars are out on the racing surface out of St. Augustine, Florida, Randy Chance in the 75, and behind him is the 45, the driver out of Clinton, Illinois, excuse me. That will be the 45 machine. Excuse me, Kyle Hammer, and behind him the T9. That'll be Ryan Thomas. That'll be the driver joining us out of Brownstown, Indiana. Got the Mullins engine under the hood of that one.
How about that 75 and Dan Adams, Tyson? He picked up a win in your home neck of the woods. Big win last week for 75.
And the green flag is back out here on hot laps. There's a 75 there. Ronnie Chance, the driver out of St. Augustine, Florida. There's the 45, Clinton, Illinois driver Kyle Hammer. He'll be one here to watch tonight. He's actually quickest now, 13.704. There's a good look at Ryan Thomas, Brownstown, Illinois driver. Also Cole Falloway turning in a good lap there, 14.016. And Daniel Adam, the 75A, coming off a feature win at Farmer City last Friday night, 14.09. That'll move Bagley down to 4th quick and Landon Miller 5th quick. So Kyle Hammer so far fastest here with your modifieds. And it looks like we'll have one more session of hot laps for the modifieds here tonight. 32 checked in here. And there's a good look at the B5. Out of Nance, Indiana, that'll be Matthew Baker. There's a look at the cars entering off of turn number 2. One of the changes here at the LaSalle Speedway this year. There's the 0, the bullet chassis of Matt Fabrius. Country Automotive bullet chassis. 0F out of Genoa, Illinois. Then behind him, looks like the number 7A tonight, driven by Tyler Nicely, the driver out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Normally behind the wheel, the 2.5 behind the Allgaier Motorsports machine here tonight at LaSalle. And behind him, making the trip all the way from Pennsylvania in the number 35 lethal chassis, that'll be Mr. David Strimmy. As your final hot lap session here for the UMP Modifieds gets underway. There's the 99 machine all the way from Corbin, Kentucky. That's Blake Brown. Blake Brown in the 99. And we got a spin off of turn number 4. That'll be the 21G, I believe. That's Colton Grace, the driver out of just down the street here in Streator, Illinois, bringing out the caution. And we'll try to get things rolling again. Once again, Clinton, Illinois' Kyle Hammer, 13.704, quickest here so far. There's a good look, Matthew Baker, the Knott's, Indiana driver. There's the bullet chassis, Matt Fabrius. So far, cracking the top 10 here on the speed charts. And the 21G having some struggles here. There's a good look at the 7A Brandt Motorsports entry with Tyler Nicely behind the wheel, but not a good night starting here for Colton Graves, the driver out of Streator. And we're going to give them one more lap here to close out hot laps. And David Strimmy, the new guy in that lethal chassis, 13.686, topping Kyle Hammer here in this final group. And there's the 14K. That'll be Shane Kelly, the driver out of Pekin, Illinois. And now we got another one around the B5. Off of turn number 4 is the caution flag, or excuse me, the checkered flag will wave. And a tough end to that one there. But it looks like the topping the UMP Modifieds hot laps here. David Strimmy, 13.686. Kyle Hammer, Cole Falloway, Tyler Nicely, and Daniel Adam will round out the top 5. Bobby Bagley, Landon Miller, Blake Brown, Trevor Neville, and Ryan Thomas, your top 10 here so far in hot laps for your UMP Modifieds. All right, Ben, we'll turn it back over to you as you get ready for some qualifying here.
Thank you very much, Tyson. It's now time for Sunoco Racefield's qualifying here tonight for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, the opening round of 2025. What an impressive crowd here tonight. The grandstands are packed, the pits are packed, and a lot of big money is on the line. We will send 3 cars at a time in Sunoco Racefield's qualifying. And these will line up heat races 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, as you see people walking in, they continue to come in the grandstands. If you got a little room next to you, maybe squeeze in next to your neighbor. And if you got open spots, if somebody's looking, wave at them, let you know that you got them. As our first qualifier tonight will be Blairsville, Georgia's Jonathan Davenport in car 49, the 27, the 4-time dirt kart national champion Rodney Melvin out of Benton, Illinois, and Jason Fager out of Bloomington, Illinois in car 25. Jonathan Davenport, the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Bill Stein, ASC Warranty, Dynagrow Seed, Lucas Oil Products, Mark Barton Automotive Group, car 49, the 27 of Rodney Melvin, a Clements Powered Longhorn, Ace Hardware, Thompson Express, Rick's Towing, entry 3 wins a year ago for the 4-time dirt car national champion. And the 25 of Jason Fager, back-to-back Mars Dirt Car Championships and UMP Championships. Out of Bloomington, Illinois, the Clements Powered Longhorn, the Titan Industries, SC Online Sales, Outpace Racing Products, Northeast Fabrication, Digital Copy Systems, 25 for Jason Fager.
First lap times for that trio of drivers going up on the board. Jonathan Davenport, the early time to beat with a 1:27.70. He betters himself on lap 2, 1:26.98. Fager's second lap time not as good, 1:28.39. Check that, Fager's second lap is better. He goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 12.566. After your first 3 cars, how about at Land of Lincoln? Jason Fager has the early time to beat with a 1:25.66.
Up next out of Mowequa, Illinois, the 18 of Shannon Babb. The D1 coming to us out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, Turk Letizia, and the 76 of Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. Shannon Babb, the Petrov Towing, Dynagrow Seed, Donnelly Trucking, Getty Landscaping, CJI Piping, Penske Racing Shocks, Vic Hill Power Longhorn for Shannon Babb, the 2-time Dirt Track World Champion. Dirk Letizia, the D1 out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, the Greater Milwaukee Auto Auction, Diamond Gems Motor Cars, Diamond Gems Steakhouse, and Best Carpet. Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn by Sorensen, and the 76 of Brandon Overton, the Riggs Fiber, Napa Auto Parts, Factory Longhorn, Garnto Southern, Dude Wipes, Heartbeat Hot Sauce entry for Brandon Overton in car 76.
He's second quick right now after lap 1. Babb is 4th quick. Letizia is 6th quick. Babb's second lap not as good, 12.839. He's 4th. Letizia 6th, 13.136. Brandon Overton jumps up to second quick with a 1:26.33 after 6 qualifiers. Jason Fager, Brandon Overton, Jonathan Davenport are your top 3.
Up next out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin out of Malino, Oregon, the 15D of Justin Duty, and the 9H of Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Ryan Gustin, Allen Seamless Gutters, Hoker Trucking, Wells Motorsports, Carl Chevrolet, Bill Stein Performance Body, J. Dickens Powered Infinity by Wells, the 15D of Justin Duty out of Malino, Oregon, the First Class Septic, Dodd-Frank Fords, Darren and Mardell Williams, Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, and Nick Hoffman in cart number 9 out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Ty Torg Racing, NOS Energy, Holdren and Construction Services, C&W Trucking, Petrov Towing, Lone Wolf Petroleum, 9 for Nick Hoffman.
The Reaper, Ryan Gustin, goes to the top of the leaderboard, but only briefly. Nick Hoffman with a 12.456. Man, qualifying's never been so fun. Gustin's second lap, not as good. Second lap for Duty, he's 6th quick. Second lap for Nick Hoffman, not as good. Not gonna matter. New quick time. Saturday's winner at Mississippi Thunder, Nick Hoffman in the Ty Torg Racing number 9. 12.456 is the new time to beat.
Up next, Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas in the 21, the 111 of Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, Mike Morrow in the 157 out of Winfield, Tennessee, Moyer in the Keith Lawson Motorsports, Carl Chevrolet with Sea Valley Transportation, West Logging, Penske, Hellraiser Jacks, Cornette, Powered Longhorn, 21 for Moyer, Max Blair at the Centerline Motorsports, Creek Pizza and Pub, Coleman Farms Racing, Upstate Auto Group, C&J Dairy, Dean Auto Group, Longhorn with a Clements Power Plant, and the 157 of Mike Marler, the Infinity Chassis at Clements Power Plant, the Skyline Motorsports, Truck Country, Quick Supply Company, Brooding Rock Products with Sea Valley Transportation entry, Billy Moyer. He said the infield DJ does not get allowed.
Yeah, he does not. Tough break for Billy Moyer. He does, but it's a 14.663. Marler 3rd, Max Blair 9th. Lap 2 for Max Blair, better. 5th quick, 12. 6.25. Second lap for Marler's a little better. He stays third. 1.2517. 12 drivers have attempted a lap. Nick Hoffman, Ryan Gustin, Mike Marler right now your top three.
Next in the SM2 Motorsports, Shaw Trucking, Budweiser, Big Dog, Stunkman, Tree, Clements Powered Longhorn. It's Cody Overton. 3 wins on the year for that driver. Brian Shirley in the 3S out of Chatham, Illinois. The M27 of Mike Provenzano out of Marcells, Illinois. They're going to check for debris on the racetrack. Brian Shirley in the Bob Cullen Racing, Hooker Trucking, Thompson Express, J&E Construction, J&J Ventures and Gaming, VP Racing Fuels, Durham Powered Longhorn, the 4-time Summer Nationals champion, currently 9th in the World of Outlaw points, 1 win on the year. That came at Springfield Raceway. And Mike Provenzano, the veteran from down the road in Marcells, Illinois, the Pro Power Racing Engine, Pierce Platinum, Pitbull Motorsport Design, Country Automotive, G&R Cab Company, M27. And we're going to take a look at the massive crowd here tonight, Dustin. Welcome back, LaSalle Speedway. And if you called in sick to work today or tomorrow, you might not look straight at the cameras. We're panning this crowd, and man, I tell you what, that is simply amazing.
It's not one of those side angle shots,
that's head
right?
on,
Yeah, that is head on right there, exactly. As this next trio of drivers make their way out, as we mentioned, Nick Hoffman has the time to beat with a 1.2.456. This is the first half of the field. This is Group A, Ben, so the way they qualify will set the stages for heat races 1, 2, and 3 coming up a little bit later on this evening. First driver to trip the trigger is going to be the 2 of Cody Overton. His first lap time, good enough for 9th quick, 12.803. Brian Shirley, 7th quick, 12.641. And the first lap time on Mike Provenzano, 14th, 1.3.622. Lap 2 for Cody Overton, a little better, stays 9th, 1.2703. Second lap for Brian Shirley, 2nd quick, 1.2497. And Mike Provenzano, second lap, a little better, 13.182. Brian Shirley goes second quick, LaSalle with a 1.2.497. Hoffman, Shirley, Gustin, now your top 3 after 15 cars.
Up next out of Peoria, Illinois, it'll be Alan Weiser in the 25W, the 20RT of Ricky Thornton Jr., the Arizona native, and the 96 of Tanner English out of Benton, Kentucky. Alan Weiser, the Kickapoo Creek Saloon, that's fun. A&A Air Conditioning and Heating, Carmody Lawn Services, Ryan Powered Longhorn, the 25W, the 20RT, that'll be the Kohler Motorsports, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Hooker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Knights Companies, Elite Ready Mix, Clements Powered Longhorn for Ricky Thornton Jr., Alan Weiser with a big puff of smoke out of that race car, and the 96 of Tanner English, the Coleman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, Bill Stein, C Motors, Clements Powered Longhorn for Tanner English.
Ricky Thornton Jr. to the top of the leaderboard, 1.2437. Weiser's best lap, 16th, 1.3172. RTJ stays on a 12.437. Here comes the 96. Tanner English, second lap better, 12.716. LaSalle, you got a new quick time. It's RTJ. Ricky Thornton Jr. with a 1.2.437. Hoffman second, Shirley third after 18 cars.
Up next will be the 10N of Rob Sanders out of Bakersfield, California, the 40B of Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, the 32S of Chris Simpson out of Oxford, Iowa. Rob Sanders, the West Coast Boring, Civicin Suspension, Mystique Tanning Salon, HSR Equipment, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn. Joining him Speedway with a 40B of Kyle Bronson. He's in the Clements Powered Longhorn, Atomic Music Group, Rates Per Engineering, LTX Home Builders, Michael Lloyd Hauling and Distributing, Mullinex Recycling, all sponsors for Kyle Bronson, the 32S of Chris Simpson out of Oxford, Iowa, the CJ Trucking, Kohler Motorsports, Hooker Trucking, Randy Davidson's Trucking, Superior Cleaning Service Factory, CS, Durham Powered Longhorn for Chris Simpson.
Second laps coming up for this trio of drivers. Rob Sanders will go 20th, 1.3209. 12th for Kyle Bronson, 1.2750. And Chris Simpson's second lap will be his best. He's 15th quick, 1.2.842. Ben, 21 drivers have attempted a lap in Group A. Ricky Thornton Jr. has the time to beat with a 1.2.437 with 4 drivers left to qualify.
Up next out of El Paso, Illinois, it'll be Ryan Unziker in the 24. I think we'll send 2 out in this set. And the 31 of Tyler Millwood out of Kingston, Georgia. Unziker, the RJR Transportation, Mosquito Hero, Rimtech Enterprises, Low Voltage Solutions, Leach & Company Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Fuel Factory, and Arkansas State Pumping, all sponsors of the Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn. For Ryan Unziker, Millwood not there, so we'll send Dean Carpenter out of Coldwater, Mississippi. Jim Burns Racing Engine Longhorn, the Tinson Brothers Sheet Metal, Carpenter Construction, Extreme Graphics by J-Rod Performance Bodies, entry for Dean Carpenter.
Ryan Unziker goes 17th quick on his first lap, 1.3019. There's a good look at Coldwater, Mississippi's Dean Carpenter, who'll go 19th fastest on lap 1, 1.3.142. Final lap time for Ryan Unziker, a little better, 14th quick, 12.806. And Dean Carpenter will wheel the 51 off corner number 4. He lays off the throttle. His best lap time will be lap 1. He's 19th quick with a 1:3.142. 23 drivers have attempted a lap. The next 2 drivers will be gunning for Ricky Thornton Jr.'s quick lap in Group A of 1:2.437.
Up next, it'll be Tyler Millwood out of Kingston, Georgia in the 31, and the 99 of Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. Millwood, the competition racing equipment, Gray's Mobile Service, Sugar Rush, Penske, One Source Paint and Body, Millwood Plumbing, VP Racing Fuels, Machine Construction Company, Durham-powered Rocket XR1, the 2017 Ultimate Super Late Model Series champion, and Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, the Lazy Days RV, Double Down Motorsports, Big River Steel, Bilstein Millwood Plumbing, McHugh Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Fiat, Phillips CP8, Cornet Powered Longhorn, a 5-time winner this year is Devin Moran.
Devin Moran, 20 top 5s and 25 starts this season. My goodness, he's 13th quick on lap 1, and that Roger Sellers number 99, 12.780. Good lap for Millwood. He goes 12.791. He is 15th as they are very, very tight in that top 15 or 16. Moran's second lap is a hair better, but he stays 13th at a 12.771. Millwood off the throttle. His best lap time is good enough for 15th, 12.791. And that's a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying for the first half of the field. Third quick, Brian Shirley with a 12.497. Second quick, the 9 and Nick Hoffman with a 12.456. And unofficially, your quick qualifier in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group A is going to be the defending FloRacing Night in America champ, Ricky Thornton Jr. And Mike Norris has caught up with him.
Yeah, been one of the fastest cars in the country, Ricky. I tell you what, you're off to a good start. What did you think as your big comeback here at LaSalle Speedway?
Oh man, really, I didn't know how good or how bad the track was going to be. I think last time I was here was 2019, so it's been a while. Obviously off to a great start, winning or being quickest in our group there. I think the track's going to widen up a little bit. It's kind of a little bit of curve there in 3 and 4. A little hard to see with the sun there, but overall really good. Puts on the pole over a heat race. Hopefully we can go out and get the job done.
Well, I got a chance to talk to Tony Izzo Jr. He said he put the wall in 3 and 4 for a purpose. Ricky Thornton hit on that. It's going to create a berm later on. It's going to have great racing. I tell you what, Ricky Thornton continues to be fast. He is here again tonight, guys.
Thank you, Mike Norris. As tell you what, racetrack is looking fantastic right now. Crowd's looking equally impressive. We get set now for Sunoco Race Fuels Group B. This will make up heat races 4, 5, and 6 here tonight. The lineup, should I say. First will be Lakeshore, Minnesota's Dan Ebert in the number 60, the 99 junior of Frank Heckenus Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois. And your third qualifier will be Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. Dan Ebert, the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Amsoil, Woody's Racing, Fox Shocks, Country Prod Excavating, Durham-powered Rocket XR1, currently 14th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings, a contender for that O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year title. The 99 junior, Frank Heckenus Jr., the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn out of Frankfort, Illinois, Storage Squares USA, Indy U-Pullet, DirtOval66.com, Petrov Towing, Capital Signs, Junior Hauling Race Car, and your third qualifier in the first set here in Group B out of College Grove, Tennessee. One win on the year that came at Clarksville Speedway. It's Jason Riggs in the 81. The Riggs Fiber, VG Performance, Andy's Towing, Dude Wipes, Triune Flat and Box Trucks, Best One Tire and Auto, M&M Lawn Care, Coleman Farms Racing, Empire Tech, all sponsors for Jason Riggs as they make their way to Speedway. Dan Ebert's going to lead them out, and we're officially underway. Sunoco Race Fuels Group B qualifying. As Dan Ebert, the modified snowmobile, all points in between graduate, hitting the road this year in the super late model. He's the first driver on the clock.
So again, we've wiped the slate clean. This will be the second half of the field qualifying. Group B, they're going to qualify for their lineups in heat races 4, 5, and 6. It's missing data checking in at a 12.825. That'll be Dan Ebert, Frank Heckenus Jr., 13.034, and Jason Riggs with a 13.236. Second lap time for Ebert, not as good. He'll stand on a 12.825. Second lap time for Frank Heckenus Jr., not as good. He'll rest on a 1.2034, and Jason Riggs goes quicker on lap 2, 1.2838. So Dan Ebert lays down the early time to beat here in Group B with a 1.2.825.
Up next, it'll be Garrett Alberson from Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58. The 9, Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York in the 32. What a set. Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois, your next 3 Sunoco Race Fuels qualifiers. Garrett Alberson from Las Cruces, New Mexico, 3 wins on the year for the driver of the Low Voltage Solutions, Romer Machine and Welding, Titan Racing Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Nutrient Ag Solution, Bill Sports Shop, Clements Powered Longhorn. And the number 9, Tim McCready, the Clements Powered that'll be the Clements Powered Longhorn for Tim McCready. currently in the Access Storage, Briggs Motorsports, David Warren Power Sports, Corey Rubber Corporation, On Time Body and Graphic, Valvoline, Trans 58, all sponsors for Tim McCready, the 2006 World of Outlaws champion in 2021 and 2022, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, and Bobby Pierce in the 32, former World of Outlaws champion, former FloRacing Night in America champion, and former XR Super Series champion, the Vic Hill powered Longhorn, with 11 wins on the year, currently leading the World of Outlaw Late Model Series standings. The Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota Danville, number 32. And just like that, the next 3 cars make their way out, led by New Mexico's Garrett Alberson.
As we talked about, the 60 of Dan Ebert lays down the early time to beat after 3 cars here in Group B in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials with a 12.825. Ricky Thornton Jr., the overall fastest as it stands right now. That was in Group A. White flag going to come out for the 58 of Garrett Alberson. He goes to the top of the leaderboard, Ben, 12.527. McCready now the time to beat, 12.556. And Pierce is third with a 12.798. Second lap time, my goodness, for Alberson, not as good. Second lap time for McCready, not as good. Second lap time for Pierce is a little better, but he stays third, 12.724. What a trio. So Bobby Pierce, third quick. Garrett Alberson, second quick. T-Mac, Tim McCready, now the time to beat in Group B, 12.556.
Up next out of Sun River, Montana, it's Michael Leach in the 09, the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois, and Tyler Erb in the 1 out of New Waverly, Texas. Michael Leach, the Dust Pods, Bill Stein, Willenboro Motorsports, Willow Ranch Wagyu, Cornet Powered Longhorn. For the driver, had 3 wins last year. In the mod, the 28 of Dennis Erb, former World of Outlaws champion, Lomac Truck, Salesman Brian Mack, Kaiser Manufactured Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, Clements Powered Rocket, and the 1 of Tyler Erb at New Waverly, Texas. Couple wins on the year for that driver. The Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelter Mechanical Contractors, First Class Septics, Anthony's Pizza, Sunoco, Roberts Speed Company, all on Tyler Erb's number 1.
They're all gunning for Jason Jagger's track record of 12.213. Turbo goes third quick on lap 1. Michael Leach will be 9th quick. Dennis Erb will be 7th quick. See what Turbo's got for him on lap number 2, and that's it. The time to beat in Group B is Tyler Erb, 12.531. Dennis Erb Jr. 7th quick with a 12.877. Michael Leach 9th quick with a 13.273. After 9 qualifiers in Group B out of New Waverly, Texas, Turbo Tyler Erb now the time to beat.
Up next, Mike Spatola out of Manhattan, Illinois in the 89, the 55X of Mike Lofgren out of West Chicago, Illinois, and Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida in the 6. Spatola, TNS Heating and Cooling and Refrigeration, Illinois State Rifle Association, Big Daddy Scrap, B&D Chemical, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1. And he's got 1 win on the year, the 55 of Lofgren out of West Chicago, Illinois, the Knopf-Singers Auto Repair, Best Engines, Hamilton Machine Powered Rocket Chassis, and the 6 of Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida, the Durham Powered Longhorn, Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, Impact Electrical Services, and National Fragile X Foundation, the sponsors for that driver.
Mike Spatola coming around for lap 2. He was 5th on lap 1. He'll be 4th on lap 2, 12.600. Second lap for Mike Lofgren is 12th quick, 1.4058. Clay Harris goes 10th fastest with a 1.3131. So Mike Spatola, the quickest of that trio. He's 4th quick overall. Tyler Erb, Tim McCready, Garrett Alberson, your top 3 after 12 qualifiers in Group B.
Up next, out of New Berlin, Illinois, it's Brandon Shepard in the 1, the 74X of Bakersfield, California's Ethan Dodson, and Rich Bell out of Sheffield, Illinois in the 21B. Brandon Shepard in the Valvoline, Performance Grading, Soyber Calf Wrenches, Ace Metalworks, Franklin Enterprises, Collins Brothers Towing, Gunners Honey, Performance Concrete, Rocket Chassis with a Durham power plant under the hood, and the 74X car of Ethan Dodson, the Clements Powered Longhorn, ASD Motorsports, Azio, Jarrett Rifles, BK Grading, and BK Racing Grading, and BK Grading, the sponsor of that race car, the American Racing Pro Series, and joining him on the speed with the 21B of Rich Bell from Sheffield, Illinois, the Rocket Chassis Ryan Powered Bell's Transmission, Red's Barn Grill 21B.
First lap time, second lap time now going up. Sheppy goes 2nd quick, Ben. Good lap, 12.532. Ethan Dodson was 6th quick. He goes to 5th 1-2-5-9-0. And Rich Bell, the former Sunoco ALMS champ, improves to 12th on lap 2 with a 1-3-105. 15 drivers have attempted a lap in Group B. Tyler Erb, Brandon Shepard, Timmy McCready, your top 3.
Up next, it'll be Trevor Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri in the 11T. The 75 of Mike McKinney from Plainfield, Illinois. And the 22 star of Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. Trevor Gundaker, the Woody Bogger Trucking, JT Auto Sales, Ted Brown Paint and Body, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn. The number 75, the Adam Family Racing, Mobilization Funding, Justin L. Langdon Electrical Contractors, RLM Enterprises, Elliott Concrete, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Mike McKinney, 2-time winner this year. And Drake Troutman currently leading World Outlaw Rookie of the Year standings. The Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales with Sea Valley Transportation, Brick House Tavern, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Troutman.
First lap time for Mike McKinney, 16th quick, 1-3-3-0-6. Drake Troutman, 10th fastest, 1-2-8-7-1. And Trevor Gundaker, 15th, 1-3-1-5-0. Lap 2 for the Plainfield, Illinois driver, Mike McKinney, better, 14th quick, 1-3-1-1-0. Drake Troutman jumps up to 7th, 12-6-48. And Trevor Gundaker's best lap time is, I believe, good enough for 16th with a 1-3.150. 18 drivers have attempted a lap. Tyler Erb, still the time to beat in Group B, 12-5-3-1.
Up next, Dale Markham out of Maple Park, Illinois in the 3. The 93 of Carson Ferguson out of Lincoln, North Carolina. And Austin Howells out of Lewistown, Missouri in the 17A. Dale Markham, the Deegan's Tire and Auto Repair, Weaver Construction, Horizon Carpentry, Trophy Chaser, Pro Power Racing Engine, Zeus Race Car number 3. The 93 of Carson Ferguson, Longhorn Chassis by Wesley Page, Clements Powered, Paylor Motorsports, Hoopaw Grading Company, Franklin Enterprises, WP Racing Shocks, Coleman Farms Racing Entry, and the 17A of Austin Howells from Lewistown, Missouri. The Howells Enterprises, HR Enterprises, On Time Fitness and Nutrition, 17 Racing, Durham Powered, Rocket Chassis.
Carson Ferguson is 8th. Austin Howells is 18th. Second lap for Dale Markham, 20th. 1-3-2-9-2-7-9 his best lap. Carson Ferguson's best lap, 8th quick, 1-2-6-5-6. And the best lap for Austin Howells will be 8th quick, 1-3.181. Ben, just 4 drivers left to attempt a lap, I believe, here in Group B. It's still Tyler Erb with the time to beat, 1-2.531.
What may be the final set? Gordy Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri in the 11G. The 15 of Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Gordy Gundaker, the Bitcoin Benz Crypto Club, that's not mine. Hooker Trucking, JB Salvage, and RLM Enterprises, Clements Powered Longhorn. Joined by the 15 of Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Clements Powered Black Diamond, Lucas Oil, Advanced Powder Coating, Morgan Transport, FiberTech Laser Cutting, Pro Glow, all sponsors for Clay Stuckey, a 2-time winner this year. And Dalton Wilson, 1 win on the year. The Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, MGLA Auto Sales, Cutler Construction, and the Auto Outlet, all sponsors for the Longhorn by Wells. Clements Racing Engine, 18 for Dalton Wilson.
Stuckey 13th, Dalton Wilson 21st, Gordy Gundaker 18th. His best lap, 1-3-1-3-2. Clay Stuckey's best lap, 13th, 1-2-9-9-5. And Dalton Wilson, I like the wrap on that car, 20th quick. His best lap, 1-3.165. And I believe that will do it for Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group B unofficially. Third quick, T-Mac, Tim McCready, 1-2.556. Brandon Shepard goes second fastest with a 1-2.532. And your quick qualifier in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group B, Ben, by 1/1000th of a second with a 12.531 out of New Waverly, Texas. It's Turbo Tyler Erb. Mike Norris, down to you.
Well, Turbo, congratulations. You're off to a good start. You've won some big races here at LaSalle Speedway, and you said when we were up there working on the track, put a little bit more water on it. It's got a nice cushion, and here you are, the fastest car in Group 2.
Yeah, I mean, it just worked out. Obviously, I like running the cushion, and debris, turn 4, somebody go get it. But yeah, just the tracks, I mean, it's widening out pretty good, kind of patchy. It reminds me a lot of Tri-City in a sense, so.
Take us through this lap here.
This is lap 1. I don't know which lap it is, but right there I felt like I drove in harder and then just tried to stay in the cushion as much as I can early. Like the earlier you could get to it, the better it was. And yeah, just really just kind of hoping and praying. Analyze
real quick, how do you think things are going to shape up with this racetrack and yourself?
It's going to be a good race. The bottom has got plenty of moisture in it. It's just, you know, the shape of the top, especially off of 4 there where them guys get kind of hung, it'll make the racing pick up, and I think it'll be a good night. Hopefully they damn sure don't roll this cushion in, maybe even get a little bit more water as the night goes on. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a good night. looks like Tony did all right here. He's a great dude, and really happy to come race at his racetrack.
Ladies and gentlemen, fastest in Group 2. How about it for Turbo? Tyler Erb.
Well, it helps when the microphone is on, I understand, Ben Shelton. As Turbo, you see him making his way back into his race car. He's going to head back to the pit area. Tyson Graves, you have got Dirt Car Modifieds about to make their way out on the track for their qualifying session here this evening. And man, oh man, what a field of 32 Dirt Car Modifieds you guys have here this evening at LaSalle.
Yeah, DJ, great set of cars here tonight, 32. We go back to the last modified race here. It was a Dirt Car Summer National race, and Nick Hoffman actually picked up the win with the Summit Racing Equipment Modifieds last time here. We'll see if that translates over into the late model here later tonight. But 32 cars checked in, and we'll be getting ready for qualifying here. And tell you what, some drivers to watch here that's been hot here in Illinois early. Of course, we'll have to look at the 45 of Chase Holland out of Success, Mississippi. He's had a lot of success actually here in Illinois early on, picking up some wins, and we've been seeing him run a lot of the Illini Bull Rings here the last month or so. Michael Ledford, a couple wins in that Royal race car on the Mars Modified Tour, so we'll be looking at see how he does tonight. Daniel Adam stepping aside from the late models, getting in the mod, and he picked up a feature win Friday night over at the Farmer City Raceway. So lots of good cars here tonight. David Strimmy and the 35 here with us tonight. Trevor Neville in that new Lethal chassis looked fast so far this year. Tyler Nicely, the driver to Owensboro, Kentucky, in the Allgaier Motorsports machine tonight. And then, of course, the 66 Cole Falloway, also from Owensboro, Kentucky. Always great on the bull rings up here. Also, big shout out Kelly Jones, that 1J. Him and his team came out here and was one of the first cars to make laps on the new racing surface here at LaSalle a few weeks ago. And here we go. Our first couple qualifiers look like they're going to make their way out onto the racing surface here. And our first car will be from the state of Arkansas in the 11N. That will be Gene Nicholas in the 11N. Behind him, out of Streeter, Illinois, it'll be Colton Grace in the 21G, and the one car out of Burr Ridge, Illinois, that'll be Dave Leja, and rounding out the field will be the 45 out of Success, Mississippi. That will be Chase Holland. And on the first lap for Gene Nicholas, 15:04.9. Greg Belye in the 14:965 in the 25 machine at the top of the chart. And checkered flag will fly here. Chase Holland now at the top, 13:956, and he goes over in turn number 3. And but he will get the quickest lap in there, 13:926 out of the first 4 cars. Gene Nicholas, 14:908. Greg Bellier, 14:945. And Dave Lilja with a 15:045. Your 4 first cars here in UMP Modified qualifying. There's a good look at the 45 there out of Success, Mississippi. And your next qualifier will be the 75M driver out of Ohio, Illinois. That'll be Shane Meekum. Behind him, the 48 out of Lyle, Indiana. That'll be Adam Pockrass. In the 48. Also joining him out of Beddendorf, Iowa. It'll be the 99M, Charlie Moore. And your final car out there will be the 21G. That is Colton Grace, the driver from nearby Streeter, Illinois. Trying to run down Chase Holland, 13:926 your time to beat. And Adam Pockrass, 14:399. He'll be second quick on his opening lap. Charlie Moore, third quick now, 14:724. There's a good look at Charlie Moore there. He throws it in turn number 3. Adam Pockrass still a little bit quicker on lap number 2, 14:172. Went up second quick. Colton Grace, 17:660 there in the 21G. Good enough for 8th fastest. And there's Adam Pockrass there, the quickest out of that group of 4 there, 14:172, second quick behind Chase Holland. And we'll move on to qualifying group number 2, and they'll be led out by the Pontiac, Illinois driver in the Royal Race car, the 09. That'll be the Madman Michael Ledford. Behind him out of Genoa, Illinois, that'll be Matt Fabrius in the 0F Bullet chassis. And then Warsaw, Indiana's Dylan Nussbaum in the 17N. And the 110 car, that'll be Landon Miller, the driver from just down the road here in Tonka, Illinois here. Your first 4 qualifiers here in qualifying Group 2. Ledford will be the first car to trip the timing light there. 13.970 on his first lap. Fabrius 14.805. Dylan Nussbaum 14.166 in the 17 in. Landon Miller 14.087. He'll jump up to second fastest here in the second group so far. Still Michael Ledford 13.970 on his opening lap, the time to beat here. And Landon Miller on his final lap there, 13.920 for the number 110. Like I said, the driver just up the road here in Tonka, Illinois. He'll be quickest with Michael Ledford second, 13.970 in your first group of 4 here in qualifying group number 2 for your UMP Dirt Car Modifieds. And the rest of Group 2 will make their way out on the racetrack. The first one will be the car out of Dixon, Illinois, the number 57. That'll be Tim Hamburg. Tim Hamburg in 7. Then it'll be the 75A out of Peru, Illinois, coming off that feature win at Farmer City on Friday night. That'll be Daniel Adam. And the 14K out of Pekin, Illinois. That'll be Shane Kelly. Shane Kelly out of near Peoria and Pekin, Illinois. They come by to complete lap number 1, chasing Landon Miller, 13.920. Hamburg will come in 4-1 on his opening lap. Daniel Adam, 14.218. And the 14K Shane Kelly there, 15.053. As they come off turn number 4, still chasing Landon Miller. And Daniel Adam will improve on lap number 2, but he'll still remain 4th fastest at 14.195. And Shane Kelly, 15.043, a little quicker on lap number 2. And Tim Hamburg will fall in 6th fastest, 14.688. But Landon Miller still on top there in qualifying Group 2, 13.920. Chase Holland, 13.926 in the opening group. And 13.920.
And how about this, Tyson, for a fun little fact down here, Landon Miller. Guess who he's got helping him crew on that 110 car? Tonka, Illinois, Scott Schmidt. I believe Scott a champion up here at LaSalle Speedway. So Landon's got quite a bit of ties here to this LaSalle Speedway. He was fast at the Fairbury Speedway, had some mechanical issues, but it's good to see him fast here in Group 2. Landon Miller in 110 with Scott Schmidt turning some wrenches on that 110 machine.
All right, thanks, Mike. That makes a lot of sense down there. A couple of guys there from Tonka, Illinois. Landon Miller so far overall fastest and quickest in group number 2. Now we'll move on to group number 3. And our first 3 qualifiers will be a driver out of West Chicago, Illinois in the 73. It'll be Mark Rhodes. And then out of Oaklawn, Illinois, it'll be the 1W, Bob Pullman. Driver who has turned a lot of laps here at the LaSalle Speedway. And then we'll see the 45 out of Clinton, Illinois, Kyle Hammer, who showed quite a bit of speed there in hot laps here just a little bit ago. We're halfway through UMP modified qualifying. Like we said, that Tonka driver Landon Miller currently on top. Great crowd here tonight at the LaSalle Speedway. And so great to see so many people also tuned in across the world here on FloRacing. And here we go with group number 3. And Mark Rhodes is going to loop it around here and be just a bit before we get things started here with group 3. Talking about the Dirt Car Summer Nationals, they'll be in town on July 3rd here at the LaSalle Speedway and Event Center, so mark your calendars for the Freedom 40. Lots of fireworks as the Hell Tour and the UMP Summer Nationals. And rodeo fans, mark your calendars for June 21st. The Starved Rock Rodeo will be here at the LaSalle Speedway and Event Center. Here we go. We'll get session number 3 underway with the 73 of Mark Rhodes, the 1W of Bob Pullman, and the 1J of Kelly Jones. Green flag now. There's a good look for those watching on Flow. Kyle Hammer. Kyle Hammer, 14.083. Bob Pullman, 14.709. Mark Rhodes, 14.697 on his opening lap. Lap 2 for Kyle Hammer, not quite as well. And Mark Rhodes, 14.614 will be for Bob Pullman. And Mark Rhodes, 14.437, second fastest. And Kelly Jones, not what he wants. So 14.083, Kyle Hammer. The rest of session 3 will look like this. It'll be the 66 now out of Owensboro, Kentucky. It'll be Cole Falloway. Behind him out of Brownstown, Indiana, it'll be the T9 of Ryan Thomas. Kewanee, Illinois' Ray Bollinger will be in the 77, and then the 74 car out of Newark, Illinois, that'll be Scott Haig. Scott Haig in the 74. Chasing Kyle Hammer, 14.083 in the Elite chassis on top. Cole Falloway, 14.245 on his opening lap. Ryan Thomas, 14.249 in the T9. Now Ray Bollinger, second quick, 14.172. And Cole Falloway a little faster on his second lap, 14.23, or 2.43, excuse me. He'll be good enough for third quick. Ryan Thomas, fourth quick, 14.249. And Ray Bollinger, he'll end up second fastest, 14.172. And the 17 car around in turn number 4. But Kyle Hammer will still be on top, 14.083 here in qualifying Group 3. All right, new transponder going on the 1J. That's Kelly Jones, the driver out of Cornell, Illinois. Helped do some of the promo work for the return of the LaSalle Speedway. Had to change out the transponder, and we'll give him a couple of laps here. And see if he can run down Kyle Hammer and Ray Bollinger, the quickest here in qualifying session number 3. And as he comes to the line, he'll time in 14.707, 14.707, and nearly spins it out in between turns 1 and 2. And he'll wrap up qualifying Group 3 here as he comes by to get the checkered flag. But it'll be Kyle Hammer, 14.083. Ray Bollinger second quick, 14.172, and Cole Falloway 14.243 here in group number 3. Our quickest overall, though, Landon Miller, 13.920 so far in that second group. And your fourth and final group will make their way out on the racing surface. Now it'll be the 75. Driver joining us all the way from St. Augustine, Florida. That'll be Ronnie Chance. Ronnie Chance in the 75. Behind him, out of Owensboro, Kentucky, it'll be the 7A, the Allgaier Motorsports entry. It'll be Tyler Nicely behind the wheel tonight. And then Bill Nippingberg, the driver out of Plainfield, Illinois, in the 01 Kankakee Speedway sponsored car. And the B5 out of Knott's, Indiana. That'll be Matthew Baker. Matthew Baker, your fourth car out here in qualifying group number 4 for your UMP dirt cars. Ronnie Chance, 16.945, 16.945. Tyler Nicely will jump to the top, 15.880. And how about Billy Nippingberg, 14.515 on his opening lap. As they come by to complete lap number 2, Ronnie Chance is quicker, 15.278. But so's Tyler Nicely. He'll go to the top now, 14.415, 14.415, the 7A of Tyler Nicely. Bill Nippingberg, 14.515, second quick, and Ronnie Chance, third fastest, 15.073, and then Matthew Baker, 15.185. 4 more cars left. Big shout out to Racing Jason, tuned in tonight on FloRacing. And we got 4 cars left to qualify. We'll see the Corbin, Kentucky driver Blake Brown will be one of the final 4. And the Great Lake Lifting Solutions entry out of Bourbonnais, Stephen Brooks, will be behind the wheel of the B5 and the 35 in the lethal chassis. That'll be the Pennsylvania driver David Strimmy. And the 777, the multi-fire sponsored machine out of Mackinac, Illinois. That'll be Trevor Neville. Trevor Neville in the 777. All chasing Tyler Nicely here in this final group, 14.415. As we see the green flag. Coming up next, we'll have opening ceremonies. We'll move into that preliminary heat race action here tonight at the LaSalle Speedway. Blake Brown will take over the top spot, 14.289, but then David Strimmy, 13.881 put him on top. Trevor Neville right behind him, 14.142. Now second quick. Stephen Brooks, 14.313, good enough for fourth fastest. And they finish it out here, and yes, the driver all the way from Miffletown, Pennsylvania, in the 35, David Stremme, 13.881. The 777, Trevor Neville, 14.142. The 99 of Blake Brown, 14.289. And Stephen Brooks, 14.313, will be your top four fastest here. And Tyler Nicely around at the top five, 14.415. And that'll be your quickest there, 13.881. David Stremme, quickest overall here tonight in the UMP modified action. All right, we're going to send it to a break here, and we'll be back here shortly with opening ceremonies here at the LaSalle Speedway.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Since 1978, Sweet Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level. Because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheels.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download a Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and the entire country since 1978. Our staff consists of fellow racers and crew members who combine for over 100 years of experience in the racing industry. Poske's is also the home to Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley and Octane Race Products. We have what you need when you need it and ship nationwide daily. Visit us in Parkersburg, West Virginia, or online at Poske.com.
I'll just put it this way, we'll be back. With the hard work of Mark Richards and all the people at Rocket, we'll be back.
Your opening night winner at East Bay Raceway Park is going to be Tyler Erb. Ashton Winger gets it done on a Tuesday night at East Bay.
But it's going to be the Reaper out of Marshalltown, Iowa. His first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
But it's going to be Hudson O'Neill getting his first win. Back-to-back winner at East Bay Raceway Park. Hudson O'Neill wins it. $20,000 later, Alligator. Hudson O'Neill wins it in one.
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these, there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear, they just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Welcome back to LaSalle, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, for the season opener for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. A gorgeous sunset off to the west. Sunoco Race Fuels time trials are in the books. Opening ceremonies coming up here in just a few minutes as they are doing the traditional Illinois wall scrape bend down in turns 1 and 2. That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good workout for the triceps, the biceps, and the quads, because you got to dig in not to fall when you're pulling that mud off the wall. But I tell you what, man, this racetrack for an opening night, look, it's soil, it's dirt. We have a supervisor down there too. He's like, scrape faster, scrape harder. A lot of things can change in the course of the night, but so far for a grand opening night on a sunny, windy day with 80 cars in the pit area, kudos to the staff here. They've done a fantastic job. We have 6 FloRacing Night in America Super Late Model Heats presented by Kubota just around the corner. Mod heats, and once we get into racing action, it is going to really move along fast. It's turned into a gorgeous night. DJ, this is the first of 5 nights of racing in the land of Lincoln. This is fantastic.
I know. We are at Spoon River tomorrow. You can get there. We're going to be at Lincoln on Thursday, Farmer City on Friday, Fairbury on Saturday, Marshalltown, Iowa next Tuesday. Reserved seats are on sale there. Mike Norris, you have observed all of this from the infield up to this point. The first competitive laps in nearly 4 years are going to be coming up here in just about 10 minutes or so. How does this racetrack look? And, man, how does this crowd look from your vantage point in the infield?
Well, number one, let's go to the track first. Tony Izzo, as I mentioned earlier, said they put the barrier walls over there in turns 3 and 4. It has done exactly what they thought it would do. Catch some of that mud, keep it in the ballpark, if you will, and create a nice cushion. We can visibly see that cushion. The second thing he was worried about is the sun. The sun has gone down now. It is not shining on any part of the racetrack, maybe a little bit on the backstretch, but as far as the track goes, they've got a really good handle on it. I think we're going to see an awesome surface. But as far as the crowd, I'll let them handle it. LaSalle Speedway, are you ready to go racing? Oh yeah, boys. LaSalle is officially back.
Oh man, we are less than 10 minutes away from opening ceremonies here. If you're on the grounds, you might want to start making your way back to your seat. If you're watching at home, don't go anywhere, because on the other side of this set of commercial breaks, it's opening ceremonies from the 2025 season opener, FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LaSalle Speedway. FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Want to welcome each and every one of you back as we get set and ready for opening ceremonies. To my left, Mr. Tyson Graves. Tyson, glad to be back here at LaSalle.
Thanks, Mike. How about it, race fans? Are you glad to be back at LaSalle Speedway? All right, we're going to give a big shout out to Carrie Izzo, the mama of LaSalle Speedway. Let's give her a hand for bringing it back this year. And before we get started, we would like all of our veterans, police officers, first responders, all to stand, please. And how about at LaSalle Speedway? Let's give them a big hand for all their service. All right, if everyone could please rise now and remove your hats, we'll start with tonight's opening ceremonies. First of all, let's pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, Lord, and we thank you for the beautiful weather that you've given us here tonight. It's a great, beautiful night here at the LaSalle Speedway. We thank you for all the fans, sponsors, everyone who's been behind making this dream come true as we see LaSalle Speedway come back to life here tonight. We pray now for the safety of all the fans, the drivers, the teams, and everyone here on the grounds of the LaSalle Speedway, and we just pray, Lord, that we'll have an awesome event here tonight that would glorify and honor you. We thank you for our troops that are around the world fighting for our freedom, and we thank you for being able to live here in the greatest country in the United States of America. And we thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus Christ, with through him we have salvation and the gift of eternal life. For it's in Jesus' name we pray, amen. And now for the singing of our national anthem, we'll turn it over to Conway Turley.
Home of the brave. Thank you very much, Conway. LaSalle Speedway, give him a nice round of applause. Well, I got one more question to ask you. LaSalle Speedway, we are back. Are you ready to go racing? Ben, DJ, what a night. It's time to race here at LaSalle.
Thank you very much, Mike Norris. The only thing we ask with this massive crowd, we ask you, if it's all possible, please remain seated. Give the youngsters, give those kids in the crowd, and give your fellow race fan a good, clear view of the racing action, just like you would expect from the folks sitting in front of you as well. Ben, Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race #1 is on the track.
Here's how we're rolling around. On the pole, your defending champion, Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20 RT, into his outside from Marshalltown, Iowa, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin.
Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, starts inside row 2, and on his outside, out of Thompson, Georgia, in the black deuce, it's Cody Overton.
Row 3 will be Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, in the 99, the 24 of Ryan Unziker from El Paso, Illinois.
And your final 3 starters out of Benton, Illinois, the former Dirt Car National champ Rodney Melvin, Peoria, Illinois, A-Dog Alan Weiser, and Billy Moyer trying to roll from the tail. We are scheduled to have 9 cars. Alan Weiser is a scratch bin, 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3. Top 3, transfer to the A-Main, LaSalle Speedway. Welcome back.
Winner of this one will start on the pole for the 50 lapper tonight. Gustin steps to the outside of Thornton. Thornton slides up the hill. Thornton takes the lead. Gustin in second. Gustin will look to the inside, off into 3 and 4. Lap 1, racing action back underway at LaSalle Speedway. Your late leader will be Ricky Thornton Jr.
Oh man, they really funnel together coming off corner number 4. Max Blair to the inside. Now here comes Devin Moran, Cody Overton right there as well. 3, 4, 5 cars all battling for that third and final transfer spot.
And Devin Moran looked for 2 for the price of 1. He'll get 1 up to 4th, and now Cody Overton back to the outside.
Oh,
right
Thornton
now,
in the wall.
Thornton catches the concrete off of 2. Gustin goes by. There's chaos everywhere.
Up at the front of the field, Ryan Gustin is now your leader after Ricky Thornton Jr. hammered the wall coming off turn number 2. And we have got our first Midwest sheet metal caution flag on the racetrack. We'll throw to the instant replay in just a moment for those of you at home to show you what happened to your race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr. over in turn number 2.
Yeah, you see the right side of that spoiler support on the racetrack. They pick up that blade off of the track, and we momentarily will have the instant replay provided by MD3. 5-star, and your instant replay, Thornton just gets a little high, car takes off on him, boom, kisses the concrete, Gustin shoots by, and we did get that lap complete, DJ, before when the Midwest Sheet Metal caution came out, and right now you see Ricky Thornton Jr. stopping at the series official down in turn number 4. They're going to check to make sure there's nothing else loose hanging from that race car. How many Ryan Gustin fans are in the house tonight? The Reaper, 2-time USMTS champion, frequent flyer on the World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series. He leads the way. He's going to contend for the title this year, try to become the 5th different driver in 5 years to pick up the series championship. But I tell you what, Thornton in 2nd, and Devin Moran started in 5th, and the 99s come to life, DJ. He's up to 3rd.
Devin Moran, Mr. Consistency, right? 25 starts this season, 20 top 5 finishes for the driver, the Double Down Motorsports number 99. And who's behind him? Just guys like Mac Blair, Cody Overton, Ryan Unzicker, Rodney Melvin, and Billy Moyer here in Integra Shocks and Springs. Heat race number 1 is the field Ben getting lined up in the Delaware double file restart. It'll be Ryan Gustin by himself out front. Thornton chooses the outside lane. 3 scored, 5 to go.
Well, we had the Death Ridge Opticians Choose Cone out there. We'll talk about that in the next one. We got a lot of stuff cooking here tonight. Meanwhile, up to 2nd, Devin Moran's going to go around Thornton. Moran sets his sights down the back straightaway on Gustin. Gustin leads the way. Moran started back in 5th. DJ, we're halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go. And Gustin leads the way over Moran, Thornton Jr., Max Blair in 4th.
And 2 different lines being run by that lead duo, as you see on your screen there. Ryan Gustin, no surprise on the high side of the racetrack. Devin Moran, he goes high now in 3 and 4. Moran went low the last time, down in 1 and 2. Max Blair knocking on the back door of his good friend RTJ.
And how about Cody Overton? He puts the whip to it up front. A couple of World Outlaws drivers battle for 4th. Meanwhile, Thornton steps to the outside of fellow Lucas Oil Traveler Devin Moran. Out front, though, it is Ryan Gustin with 2 to go, and he leads the way in the 19R.
Ryan Gustin looking good out front. Now there's the battle for 2nd on your screen. Moran has it. Thornton clears him with a slider down in 3 and 4. Moran tries to drive back down under him. Final time around.
Final time out of 2 down the back straight with the all-guy performance. 1 to go, and through 3 and 4, the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race 1, Ryan Gustin.
2nd spot's going to go to Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran 3rd. Those 3 drivers transfer into the show. Max Blair, Cody Overton, Ryan Unzicker, Billy Moyer, Rodney Melvin, and Alan Weiser on the outside looking in.
Your 3rd and final transfer, Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. 2nd, Arizona's Ricky Thornton Jr., and your winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 1, Ryan Gustin. In the Cooney Motorsports, Allen Seamless Cutters, Hoker Trucking, Wells Motorsports, Carl Chevrolet, Bill Stein Performance Bodies, May Properties, Jay Dickens Powered Infinity by Wells. And we'll head down to Mike Norris as I think
he blew off. He blew off Mike Norris.
Yes, we're going to have to get it in the back of the pit area there as Ryan Gustin was so excited to meet Ricky Thornton Jr. He's headed back to the pits to celebrate, my man.
I heard.
It's opening night, man. We're working the bugs out. But how about that action?
I heard what it was. Norris said that Ryan was his 4th favorite Gustin.
He did.
Yeah. Hey,
where's Richie?
Good stuff. How about it, LaSalle? Are you glad to be back?
First time here, and hell, I'm glad to be back.
Man, this is great. Hey, if you like that, we got 5 more heat races coming up. Next on the agenda, K1 Race Gear, heat race number 2.
Starting on the pole, fresh off a $30,000 win last weekend in Wisconsin, it's Mooresville, North Carolina's Nick Hoffman in the 9 into his outside. Former World of Outlaws champion Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee in the 157.
Row 2 on the inside, the most recent winner with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. It's going to be the 76. That's Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. And on his outside, out of Benton, Kentucky, in the 96, that is Tanner English.
I know Oregon's Justin Duty in the 15, back on the Mars Tour this year. He'll start inside of row 3 to his outside. How many Shannon Babb fans are in the house? The Moweaqua, Illinois driver starts outside of row number 3.
And your final 2 starters out of Waukesha, Wisconsin in the D1, it'll be Turk Letizia. He'll be flanked by the Marseilles, Illinois driver in the M27. That is going to be Mike Provenzano. Once again, 8 drivers racing 8 laps, and the top 3 advance to the A main in K1 Race Gear heat race number 2. Ben, it's so good to be back, brother.
Well, it's exciting. This place has got a vibe. The crowd has come out tonight, and what better way to start Illinois Speed Week than here tonight with a packed house and a loaded field of race car drivers in the pit area. And this one's got Nick Hoffman starting on the pole. He competed for that World of Outlaws title for much of last year. He's back this year, and he's got former Outlaw champion Mike Marlar alongside in the 157.
You've got the 2 most recent national touring winners in this one, with Hoffman in the 9 and Overton in the 76. And you just mentioned it, Hoffman, the $30,000 winner at Mississippi Thunder last weekend of the Dairyland Showdown, and Brandon Overton getting that Lucas Oil win at Circle City last Friday night. They're going to go at it along with 6 others here in K1 Race Gear Heat 2. 8 laps, top 3 transfer. Green flag flies in turn 4.
Hoffman and Marlar bring us to the green. Drag race down the front straightaway. Marlar steps the middle of the racetrack. Hoffman's going to let it drift up in front of him down the backstretch. Marlar squeezes by Mike Marlar to the lead in the 157. Hoffman not going to give up that easy.
Hoffman, though, going to try to squeeze him again. Marlar somehow threads the needle off corner number 4. Marlar leads lap 1, Hoffman second, Overton third. Justin Duty going side by side with the 96 of English behind them. Top 3 cars now tiptoe around the top side of this quarter mile. Oh, Marlar. Oh, Ben.
And a slider, 1 and 2. Hoffman can't get there. Marlar had his hands full of turn 4. Hoffman saw the door open. Now here comes Overton. Overton starting to get more comfortable in that 76. Shannon Babb out of the party. He'll head to the infield. 3 down, 5 to go. K1 Race Gear Heat 2, and it's Mike Marlar pacing the way.
Yeah, tough break for Shannon Babb. There's the Moweaqua, Illinois driver, as you mentioned, pulls into the infield this time by halfway home. 4 laps down, 4 laps remaining, and you talk about guys that need a good run. Maybe nobody more so than the 157 of Mike Marlar, who has a quote-unquote whopping 0.8 of a second advantage. 3 laps to go this time by. 3 laps to go for Mike Marlar in the 157. Nick Hoffman, though, Ben, you saw it right there. Close that gap just a little bit. The issue is that lead duo, they're running almost the same exact line. 2 laps to go this time by.
Marlar heads off into turns 1 and 2. Hoffman's right there with him. Overton about 5 car lengths back in third. It's about 8 car lengths back to the 96 of Tanner English in fourth. Meanwhile, Bogart Performance 1 to go. White flag in the air.
Final time around for Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee. Hoffman dives down to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Not quite enough traction to make it happen. Does he have a last lap slider in him? He does not. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 is going to be Mike Marlar.
Coming home in second. Nick Hoffman third to Brandon Overton. Off to the B mains. Tanner English, Justin Duty, Letizia, Provenzano, and Shannon Babb out of this one.
So the third spot goes to Brandon Overton, second to Nick Hoffman, and there is your winner. It's an Infinity race car with a Clemens power plant under the hood for the driver of the Skyline Motorsports Quick Supply Company, Brooding Rock Products, K&M Auto Salvage, Truck Country, Olson Explosives, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Petroff Towing, 157. How about it for Mikey Marlar? And we'll send it down to Mikey Norris.
Well, I tell you what, Dustin said somebody needs a good run. Mike Marlar's tonight, the night you finally turn it around, my man.
Yeah, I hope so. Been trending upward for a month now and getting better and better. So feels good to be back winning heat races and getting a shot at it for sure.
Well, I tell you what, race fans, is going to start up front. How about it for the likable 157, the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marlar gets it done.
How about 2 heat races, 2 Infinity chassis to pick up the wins? And the third one, think we've got one in this
We
one.
don't
So we're going to have a
have one,
different chassis take bragging rights in Buzzy Racing. Heat race number 3, 8 cars, 8 laps. Here's how we're going to roll them around. Starting on the pole position out of Chatham, Illinois, the Squirrel, Brian Shirley in the 3S. And to his outside, the 25, the high side hustler, Jason Fager out of Bloomington, Illinois.
We move back to row number 2, and on the inside we find the 2021 FloRacing Night in America champ out of Blairsville, Georgia. In the 49, that is Superman Jonathan Davenport, and on his outside out of Brandon, Florida. In the Race Car Engineering Atomic Music Group, number 40B is the killer Kyle Bronson.
Inside of row 3, out of Kingston, Georgia, former Ultimate Late Model Series champion Tyler Millwood in the 31, and to his outside with every trucking company in Iowa on the side of that entry, it's Oxford, Iowa's Chris Simpson in the 32S.
And your final 2 starters in row number 4 out of Coldwater, Mississippi, the 51, that's Dean Carpenter, and on his outside out of Bakersfield, California, the 10N is Rob Sanders. Once again, Buzzy Racing Products, heat race number 3, 8 laps to the checkered flag. The top 3 lock themselves into tonight's main event. And it's an all Land of Lincoln front row with Brian Shirley and Jason Fager in row number 1.
And once again, we remind everybody, please, as a capacity crowd here tonight and around the cameras, there's a lot of people watching all around the world to catch the action. If you're especially around the cameras and everybody around you, we want to have a great view. If you can please grab a seat. We do thank you so much. We wish you have a great time here tonight. And you see that crowd down the front straightaway. And man, I tell you what, tonight's like tonight make you so proud to be part of the racing community, and so proud for the Izzo family, for Justin McCoy and his family, and everybody involved. As lights are down on the Speedway, it's Shirley, it's Fager, it's a Land of Lincoln showdown on the front row of Buzzy Racing, heat race number 3. Winner starts 5th here tonight, and the green flag's out. We're underway.
Side by side down the front straightaway, and oh, by the way, just some guy named Jonathan Davenport back there behind him as well. Shirley's going to get the early hold shot. Davenport on the bottom. What? He's going to look down to the inside of Jason Fager in a battle for the 2nd spot at the end of lap number 1. Brian Shirley is your leader.
Yeah, Fager back to 3rd, and now Kyle Bronson sets his sights on him as Florida comes after Illinois. Out front, Illinois leads the way, Georgia in 2nd. Fager's got his hands full. Here comes Kyle Bronson to the inside, battle for 3rd at the line. Bronson takes the spot. Fager on the outside looking in.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about a couple guys that aren't going to lift down there in the corner. The 40 being the 25, that's for sure. 3 of them there on your screen when you toss the 49 into the mix. Those 3 drivers are battling for 2 transfer spots, and arguably the biggest lead we've seen anyone have in a heat race thus far. Brian Shirley stretched out to a 1.4 second advantage.
Yeah, the squirrel's going to the top of the tree right now. So he's from the top side of Salle Speedway. He's putting a hurting on him. 1.5 seconds the advantage. Davenport sits in 2nd. Back in 3rd, it's Bronson. They've stretched it out over Fager, and Fager's starting to come under fire now from Tyler Millwood. DJ off of turn 4, 3 to go, 5 in the books, 3 to go in Buzzy Racing Heat 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, Brian Shirley looking really, really strong. Just continues to add to the lead, and got to give a big tip of the cap to Kyle Bronson, who's making the inside of the racetrack work down in turns 3 and 4. Everyone trying to tiptoe around the top in 3 and 4 pin. 2 laps to go for Brian Shirley, who's now got a 2-second lead.
Shirley has put the whip to him. He said, welcome back, LaSalle Speedway off of turn number 4. All-guy performance, 1 to go in Buzzy Racing Heat 3. It's all Brian Shirley.
Final time around has been mentioned, the all-guyer performance, 1 to go. Brian Shirley picking them up and putting them away as he rolls into turns 3 and 4. For the final time, checkered flag is out. The Squirrel, Brian Shirley, going to get the win in Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3.
Jonathan Davenport 2nd, Kyle Bronson 3rd. Jason Fager heads to the B main and takes Tyler Millwood, Chris Simpson, Dean Carpenter, and Rob Sanders along.
So 3rd spot goes to Kyle Bronson, 2nd Jonathan Davenport. There is your winner. He is the driver. Out of Chatham, Illinois, the Bob Cullen Racing, Thomason Express, Hoker Trucking, J&J Ventures Gaming, All-Guyer Performance, Ted Brown's Quality Paint and Body, Cheap Cars, Race Ranch, KBC Graphics, VP Racing Fuel, sponsored number 3S. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Squirrel Brian Shirley.
4 years ago, guys, the last time we were here, he went to victory lane in a summer national victory. Since 1995, 3 guys have 6 wins here at the LaSalle Speedway. And one of those drivers, Brian Shirley. Brian, you're going to start up front here tonight. You've had a lot of wins over the years. I was just mentioning 6 big ones. Going to be another one here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of tough competition here. It's been probably about 4 or 5 years since we've been here, but so far everything's still pretty close to the same. And we'll just see how the future goes, and hopefully we'll have a good finish and maybe be up front to have a shot to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, he gets the win here in Heat 3. How about it for the Squirrel, Brian Shirley?
It's time for iBox Springs Heat 4. The winner of this one will start outside front row alongside Ryan Gustin, and on the pole at a New Waverly, Texas, it's Turbo Tyler Urban to his outside from Las Cruces, New Mexico. The 58 of Garrett Alberson, DJ2 Mashers on the front row of this one.
No kidding, and two up-and-comers behind him in row 2 on the inside out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania. The GR Smith-Owned 22-star. That's going to be Drake Troutman. He's currently leading the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year points. And behind him, a driver gunning for the Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year. Former USMTS Modified standout out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. The 60 is Dan Ebert.
Inside of row 3, rising star out of Shreveport, Louisiana. It's Clay Stuckey in the number 15, and alongside Mike McKinney in Adam Family Motorsports 75 from Plainfield, Illinois.
And your final 2 starters, it'll be T-Rev, Trevor Gunbaker out of St. Charles, Missouri, in the Millard Family Chapel's number 11, and Sun River, Montana's Michael Leach in the 09. And we have got 8 different states alone represented in this heat race, 20 different states all together, and there is the onboard camera, Ben, with your pole sitter, Tyler Erb. I love that.
That's the only way I'm brave enough to ride with Tyler Erb, is watching it on a monitor. And earlier he said, I hope they don't roll down the top because I want that cushion to stay. I wonder how he feels about that now that Garrett Alberson starts outside front row of this one, and this one is for the outside front row 50 lapper tonight.
Oh man, that was great looking into the there. That is good stuff. All right, you called it, Ben. iBox Springs Heat number 4. The winner starts on the outside front row. Will it be Tyler Erb? Will it be Garrett Alberson, or will it be somebody else? Caution lights have been turned off. Green flag is going to wave next time by. Turbo, Garrett Alberson, 8 cars, top 3 transfer. We're underway.
Green flags in the air. The winner of this one starts outside front row as Turbo and Alberson duke it out for the lead. Alberson falls back to second as Turbo goes up the track, but here comes Troutman shooting to the inside.
Oh, they're going to think about it. They're not going to think about it. They are going to go 3 wide momentarily through turns 3 and 4. Look at Troutman on the inside trying to take the lead, and Alberson nearly lost it.
How did Alberson hold on to it? Meanwhile, Troutman might not be done there. He sets his sights on the 1 car of Tyler Erb. They'll head to the top side of the racetrack. Alberson gets his feet back under him. Good battle for 4th behind him as take for the cushion, and it cost him. He loses a couple of spots.
Boy, Troutman hanging right with Erb, as you see there on the screen. Garrett Alberson remains in that final transfer ahead of Clayton Stuckey. As you look on a battle throughout the field between the 75 of Mike McKinney, Dan Ebert, and the 60, and the 09 of Michael Leach. Garrett Alberson, though, got his feet under him. Reeled back in that lead duo this time by 4 down, 4 to go.
This is good stuff right now. Alberson trying to reel in your top 2. It's a 3-car breakaway. Stuckey would probably love to see a Midwest Sheet Metal caution to erase that advantage for the top 3. As your top 2 tap dance around the top side of the Speedway, Alberson tested the waters on the low side. It cost him through 1 and 2. 3 laps remain, and iBox Springs Heat 4, and Tyler Erb trying to earn that outside front row starting spot for tonight's main event.
It's also just a matter of time before they burn that top off as well, as we saw Tony Izzo out there tickling the bottom of the racetrack earlier, and Turbo gets too high, coming off 4. Drake Troutman to the lead.
Pennsylvania to the lead, but Turbo with a big slider into 1 and 2. Troutman turns back down the hill. They're going to race back to the Allgaier Performance. 1 to go. Troutman now with a haymaker down through 3 and 4. Tyler Erb's right there. Here comes Alberson. DJ Allgaier Performance. 1 to go.
Final time around, and Troutman takes the slider line away. Turbo, here comes the 58 of Alberson. 3 cars going for the win. Off corner number 4, you ride with Turbo. He'll finish second. Troutman gets the win, and no, Alberson gets
wow.
second. Oh, wow.
Turbo in 3rd. Clay Stuckey 4th, and it's Gunbaker, McKinney, Ebert, and Leach. LaSalle Speedway, how about it? Coming home in 3rd, Tyler Erb. 2nd to New Mexico's Garrett Alberson. Race fans, how about it for Pennsylvania's Drake Troutman? He takes the win as the place goes nuts. The Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Brick House Tavern, RFI Resources, Bill Stein, Jerry Siding, Roofing and Windows, Shoes, Diesel Performance. All sponsors on the Cornet-powered Longhorn. Mike Norris down to you with Drake Troutman, the winner of iBox Springs Heat 4.
Man, oh man, we have been together a couple of times, Drake, this summer. You've been so close. You've been heartbroken. Tells it all. A little shaky there, but you got it, man. You're going to start up front tonight in this 20.
I don't think I breathed the whole race there. That's what it's all about, man. I love coming out here to Illinois and racing. It's badass. I don't think there's another place in the country to pack the house like this on a Tuesday night.
Hey, are you selling T-shirts, by the way, tonight?
Man, I sure hope so. Yeah, y'all go down there and check out my boy Scotty at the Dirt King Apparel. We need to eat this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, it'll go for $20K, the youngster. How about it for Drake Troutman?
That is why you come to Illinois on a Tuesday night. Dustin Jarrett Troutman's going to start on the front row with Ryan Gustin tonight. A couple of outlaws on the front row tonight, but right now let's going to find out who's going to start fourth. The Sweet Manufacturing Heat number 5, and on the pole it's Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois in car number 1, and to his outside from Bakersfield, California, it's Ethan Dodson of a 74X.
Troutman couldn't breathe. 2 on the inside out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, the 93. That is Carson Ferguson of the Paylor Motorsports entry. And on his outside, out of College Grove, Tennessee, in the 81, that is Jason Riggs.
Inside of row 3 out of Frankfort, Illinois, it's Frank Heckenus Jr. in the 99 Junior. To his outside, all the way from Jupiter, Florida, Clay Harris in car 6.
And keep your eyes on the guy starting 7th in this one out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. In the 18D, that's going to be the big perm, Dalton Wilson. And on his outside, former limited late model track champ here at LaSalle out of Maple Park, Illinois. The 3 is Dale Markham. By now, you know the drill. 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3 will advance to the main event. The winner of this one will start, as you said, they're still hooting and hollering out there.
Crowds are rowdy.
Yes, I love it. The winner of this one will start on the outside of row number 2, Sweet Manufacturing Heat 5.
Well, and you've seen in 1 and 2, it started to get all black and streak up in the middle there after qualifying, but they got in the bottom. They threw that crumb across the racetrack, and it's brought back the middle to the top side. The bottom's obviously great down in 3 and 1 and 2. 3 and 4, but top's still the place to be, but you got to think it's going to start moving around as well. Again, the winner of this one starts 4th. It's Brandon Shepard, Ethan Dodson, on the front row of this one, 8 laps. We're underway with Brandon Shepard and Ethan Dodson battling off into 1 and 2.
Brandon Shepard, 2 wins this season. Would love nothing more than to get one right here tonight. Ethan Dodson's got a win with the Outlaws earlier this year. They go side by side through turns 3 and 4. And here comes Carson Ferguson to the inside.
Carson digging hard right now. As you saw, Sheppy change his line through 1 and 2, but here comes Carson Ferguson. A couple of guys going after the title this year as they battle side by side for the lead. Ethan Dodson gets his feet back under him. Leader of lap 2, Brandon Shepard.
Oh, welcome back, LaSalle. This is damn good stuff right here, man. Brandon Shepard in the Rocket 1, Carson Ferguson in the 93, Ethan Dodson right there as well. They're still side by side for the lead.
And I tell you what, you're starting to see that bottom come in down in 3 and 4. Ferguson's made it work, but just as I say that, man, Dodson about bit the concrete. He'll pull away down the back straightaway. He sits in 3rd. He'll go to the top. Your top 2 work the low to middle side of the racetrack, and we'll see if that opens the door for Dodson with 4 down, 4 to go in Sweet Manufacturing Heat 5.
Yeah, I tell you what, good stuff right here, man. As Brandon Shepard, as you can see there on the screen, has put a couple car links between himself and Carson Ferguson. It's almost like Shep's trying a couple different lines. We've seen him run high, we've seen him run low, we've seen him run the middle down in 3 and 4. No doubt, though, where he's going to go in 1 and 2. He tiptoes around the top side bend. Coming around this time, there will be 2 laps remaining.
Right now, this racetrack feels like a tough place to lead. They'll switch lanes at the front of the track, and Ethan Dodson now reeling in Carson Ferguson as we work lap number 7 down the back straightaway off into 3 and 4. They'll come back to 1 to go, and Dodson sets his sights on Ferguson.
He's going to dive down to the inside. The Allgaier Performance 1 to go as Ethan Dodson moves the 74X up into the 2nd spot. Could be too little too late, though, as Shep's got a 1.5 second advantage. They head through 3 and 4 for the final time.
Final time, checker flags there for, oh no, Ferguson's got trouble trying to limp it home. He was 4th. He was 3rd. He falls back. Meanwhile, it's going to be Shepard getting the lead. Dodson in 2nd. 3rd will go to Riggs. Heckenus 4th. Wilson 5th. Harris 6th. Ferguson will fall all the way to 7th. What a heartbreaker.
Wow.
Del Markham in 8th.
Wow, tough break for Carson Ferguson. That hands the final transfer spot to Jason Riggs in the 81. Ethan Dodson finishes in 2nd, and there's the winner of Sweet Manufacturing Heat Race number 5. Currently 8th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings is the driver out of New Berlin, Illinois in the Rocket 1, Valvoline, Swayburne Calf Ranches, Petroff Towing, Performance Grading, Ace Metalworks, Gunners, Honey, Franklin Enterprises, Fox Shock sponsored entry. How about it, Land of Lincoln for Brandon Shepard?
Definitely one of the favorites here tonight is the Mars Championship Late Model Series powered by FK Rod-Ins. Went over to Cedar County on a Thursday night. Brandon Shepard got a win. Congratulations, Brandon, on your big win there. You're going to start up front here tonight. But one thing I want to ask you over there in 3 and 4 looks a little tricky. A few times you went through the middle, and you were just changing up your line, seeing what you had for tonight.
Yeah, for sure. The track's starting to change a bunch, and it's getting pretty tricky, so I think we're going to see a hell of a feature here. Well,
I tell you what, Land O'Lincoln, he gets a big win. How about it for Brandon Shepard?
Man, you know these Illinois boys are glad to have LaSalle back. It's time for Dave Poski Performance Heat 6, DJ. And before we go to that, though, let's see what happened to Carson Ferguson. Heartbreaker there on the last. Oh, he got high. Maybe right rear goes flat on that.
I was going to say, yeah, it almost looked like he had a right rear down from that angle. Man, that's a tough break as he was contending for the lead early on. Lost second there midway through, and looked like he had a transfer spot wrapped up. We'll look for him in one of our B mains a little bit later on this evening.
Real quick, guys, as these heat races continue to roll on the track, that high side is getting more and more technical. I think the top and the bottom are going to even out for the simple fact that the top side is getting more and more technical. So something to keep your eyes on.
And these boys are warriors. Look at that sunset here in the Land O'Lincoln. And this is the first of 5 nights. Spoon River Speedway, get ready. Banner, Illinois. We're coming to town tomorrow night. But right now, Poski Performance Heat Race number 6. And on the pole, it'll be Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York in the 9. And Mike Spatola, Opie out of Manhattan, Illinois in the 89 alongside.
Woo, look at row number 2 out of Oakwood, Illinois. The smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. In the 32 and on his outside out of Carpentersville, Illinois in the 28, that's Dennis Erb Jr.
These heats are so loaded. Row 3 will be Rich Bell out of Sheffield, Illinois in the 21B, and Gordy Gundecker out of St. Charles, Missouri in the 11G.
Your final 2 starters, Austin Howes out of Lewistown, Missouri in the 17A, and Mike Lofgren out of West Chicago, Illinois in the 55X. Final late model heat race of the evening. Again, 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3 transfer. Winner starts 6th in tonight's 50-lap, $20,000 to win a main. Tim McCready's been running pretty good here lately, and on his outside, got a 3-time Fairbury Speedway track champ at Opie, Mike Spatola.
That's right. You got a Longhorn on the pole. You got a Rocket chassis alongside. You got a Longhorn or Rocket back there in row 2. They will make their way around to the green flag. Dave Poski Performance Heat Race number 6. 8 laps the distance. Winner starts 6th. Top 3 to the feature. We're underway.
Good whole shot there by Tim McCready as he darts out into the early race lead. And
I like that one.
Kelly Carlton says, "Not so fast, my friend."
That's right. We're going to rack them and stack them one more time. We get one get-out-of-jail-free card here, so we'll get them side by side. But better start out of turn 4. McCready and Mike Spatola on the front row. And again, modified heat races coming up after this. Will be 4 of them. Then we'll go off to B main action. 2 B mains for the late models and the mods. Then we'll go off to feature action. Late model feature first, 50 laps. Modified feature close out the night, a 20-lapper. And if you're watching at home, call in sick the rest of the week. Join us in Illinois. I'm talking Spoon River, Lincoln, Farmer City, Fairbury, and some beautiful weather. DJ, let's try it again.
We'll write your get-out-of-jail-free card if you need it. Here we go. Green flag gonna fly. And did Mike Spatola get too good of a start there? To McCready, try not to jump. Oh, McCready is going to get the advantage down in turns 1 and 2. And nope.
All right. So I think they've each got the naughty stick shook at them. So I think we're gonna see if we get one more time here.
Well, you get one warning and one. I don't know that's well.
All right, I think we got the yellow lights out too soon. Well, they've all gone pretty well, but the Midwest Sheet Metal yellow light is setting up a home here. I don't think we were ready to come back to the green.
Yeah, no, I don't think they were ready to come back to the green either. That one is on.
Miscommunication with the officials. We're gonna figure this one. I have faith.
Yes,
we're gonna do this. All right, we're gonna start them side by side. Opening night, full moon somewhere. We just saw the sun going down.
All right. McCready.
Do you believe, DJ?
Oh, I believe, baby. I believe. Right. McCready on the pole. Mike Spatola on the outside. Keep your eyes on the 32 and 28. Final FloRacing Night in America Heat of the Night is underway.
And McCready gets a good hole shot. He'll take the lead off into 1 and 2. Spatola slides up the racetrack. McCready's right there. Contact. Meanwhile, Pierce will go from 3rd to the lead. Spatola, she looks to the outside of Bobby Pierce. McCready back to 4th. Christmas card list just got shorter right there as Rich Bell to 3rd. My goodness. Pierce leads them through turn number 2.
Holy cow, I watched all of that, and I still don't know what I saw. Mike Spatola's not done yet. He's got to run down to the inside of Pierce. They all wash up the racetrack. Pierce stays out front, 3 wide for third, Ben.
And now Dennis Herb Jr. up to 4th. McCready back to 5th. Rich Bell right in front of Herb. Here comes McCready hustling on the top side. Adam Marks with a shot as they come down the back straightaway. McCready might be a little fired up, and he's going to try to get that transfer spot back around from Rich Bell. Can't quite get there. Pierce has gone from second on back. It's anybody's race.
Man, McCready is driving the wheels off of that race car. Now he's going to look down to the inside. He is not going to let off of it through turns 3 and 4. Throws a haymaker on the 89, and he moves back into the second spot. Does Tim McCready. 4 cars right there running for second.
And how about the 28 car, Dennis Herb Jr.? He's going to come after Spatola. We work through turns 3 and 4. 5 on the board, 3 to go. It's Pierce. Second, McCready gets over the hub. The cushion. Meanwhile, Dennis Herb Jr. shoots up to second. McCready back to third. These guys get their hands full here tonight.
Welcome back, America's favorite midweek racing series. It's FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, and there's 2 laps to go. While all this has been going on, Ben, that's allowed Bobby Pierce to stretch out to a 2.1 second advantage as he comes around to the Allgaier Performance. 1 to go.
He started 3rd. He avoided the chaos early on. One more time around the speedway. How about Dennis Herb Jr. in 2nd? He started 4th. Tim McCready back in 3rd. Final time down the back straightaway. Checkered flag in the air, and the winner of Dave Poskey Performance Heat 6. Bobby Pierce 2nd to Dennis Herb Jr. 3rd at the line. Spatola with a head of steam, but it's McCready with the spot.
My goodness. What a way to wrap up our heats this evening. Opie, Bell, Gundaker, Howes, and Lofgren round out the field on the left side of your screen. It's McCready 3rd. Dennis Herb 2nd. There's your winner, the 2023 FloRacing Night in America champ and the Low Voltage Solutions Churchill Transportation Collins Brothers Towing, a little extracurricular activity right there. Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota of Danville sponsored. Number 32, how about it, LaSalle, for the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, action there is the 32. Survived that start. He went down to the inside, but put it up on the cushion. This 32 is working both very well on the bottom and on the top. You got a car to win tonight, Bobby?
Oh, yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Obviously, we had a good start. I knew the bottom 1 and 2 was there, and the top gets so far out there, and I think really the track's pretty good. Like, I really don't know where the fastest line is. If you hit the bottom, good, it's really fast. If you hit the top, good, it's really fast. So I kind of like the track, how it has character right now, how if you hit it wrong, you can be like a lot slower 1 lap than the next lap, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you what, 2 of the best drivers in the country have won a heat race, Ricky Thornton Jr., and how about it for winning Heat 6, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce does it.
All right, well, that's it for late model heat races. We've got 4 heat races for the UMP Dirt Car Modifieds coming up next. Don't go anywhere. It's the season opener for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's gotta be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
Since 1978, Tweak Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level. because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheels.
This is what you save your lunch money for.